Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome along live to your UEFA Nations League watch-along. It is match day 6 of the competition, and this is it. This is the final day of international football. We are now going to be all done and dusted after today until 2021 with international football. And well, of course, we had plenty of drama last night in the UEFA Nations League. The real question is, are we going to get the same amount of drama tonight? There is a record-breaking 14 games on tonight. That's the most that the Nations League has had in one period. Can we get as many goals as possible across the board tonight? Now, as I said, there's 14 games going on. It's going to get very hectic tonight. I've got a lot of work on my hands, but we've got 5 games that we're going to cover in a little bit more detail. We're going to go through those games now. As I said, kickoff is in just above 10 minutes time for these matches, so we might just be able to talk some of our score predictions just before these games do kick off. So without further ado, let's, without wasting any more time, get into these 5 fixtures that we're going to be kind of covering tonight across the board. And our first main game, and the game that I'm going to be covering tonight, is Belgium-Denmark. Now, for those of you that are a little bit confused with how the Nations League works, even after 6 match days of the tournament, at the very end of each group, which there's 2 games, of course, going on in tonight's group that we're going to be covering. We'll talk through the groups and how they're looking right now. But main game, Belgium-Denmark. This is a winner-takes-all situation tonight. Whoever wins is going to take the top spot in the group. However, Belgium only need a draw if they want to go through to the knockout stage of the Nations League. And tonight they're going in with a 3-5-2. Courtois is in goal, back 3 of Toby Alderweireld, Jason Denayer, and Vertonghen, of course. Midfield 5, De Bruyne as a left mid tonight, Chadley as a right mid, Tielemans and Dendoncker in midfield. And then left wing and right wing, you've got Mertens and Hazard. And then up top is the ever-present, ever-consistent Romelu Lukaku for Belgium. He's been on fire recently, international-wise. Just can't seem to stop scoring. And then we've got Denmark, who are going with a 4-3-3 tonight. Remember, they have to win this match if they want to go through to the knockout stages of the Nations League. And it's Schmeichel who's going to be in goal. Back 4 of Michael Christiansen, Simon Kjaer and Daniel Vass as the right back. Midfield 3 of Delaney, Højbjerg and Christian Eriksen. And then up top tonight, 4-3-3. He's technically saying Jonas Wind as a striker tonight. I think he's going to be on the left-hand side and Poulsen in the middle. However, Poulsen could easily play there. So it could be Braithwaite as the right winger, Poulsen as the left winger, and Jonas Wind up top. Although I think we could see that transition throughout the majority of the game. Remember, Denmark have to go for it. So you expect some interesting kind of substitutes and things tonight as they try to push for that Nations League knockout section. So that's Belgium and Denmark. Of course, as I said a moment ago, there's also another group game going on at the same time. And well, unfortunately for these 2 sides, it is all done and dusted. Unfortunately, someone had to watch this game. I said we wasn't going to be covering it, but Rowan, he's the saviour. He's the hero of the day. He's going to be watching England and Iceland. How are we doing as always, Rowan?
I'm doing great very much. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Start off, I'm going to try and say different ones each time. 3-5-2 for England tonight. Well, not really much on the line for both teams. They can't get through. Iceland is already relegated, but England pretty much going for a similar system to what they played over the last few weeks. Pickford's in goal, back 3 of Dyer, Maguire and Walker. Full-back on the left-hand side is Saka, Trippier on the right with the midfield 3 of Phil Foden, Rice and Mount. And then up top, it's saying Kane and Grealish together, which is an interesting shout. 2 questions for you, Rowan. 1, do you think this was a great opportunity for Gareth Southgate to maybe tweak the squad a little bit more and try some younger players? And 2, if it is going to be Grealish up top tonight, do you think it'll work?
I'll start with the Grealish one. Why not? Why not try something a bit different? But I also can think, why not play all your youngsters? I think maybe he does just want that reinforcement that the team he wants to play regular can beat a side like Iceland, because obviously we've had struggles there before. But you look at the subs bench, why not play players who don't? Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Jude Bellingham, Tyrone Mings, stuff like players who don't really play that much. Like, they don't. Just give them a go. There's no harm. You're not going to get relegated. No harm in trying some others.
Exactly. You'd think he would, but of course he hasn't. They're going to stick with 3-5-2 tonight. And then, of course, we have got the other side, which is Iceland. Well, very best of luck once again, Rowan. Some tough names tonight across the board. 4-4-2, Christiansen is in goal, back 4 of Hermansen, Kari Arnason, Ingerson and Seversen. Midfield 4 is Skolason, Palsson, Bjarnason and Sig Johnson. Sigurd Johnson has been pronounced. And then up top is Bodvarsson and Gudmundsson. Not much on the line for Iceland tonight. The bottom of the league on 0 points. Is it a typical thing where England tonight might drop points and give Iceland their first few points?
No one knows. Probably, yeah. No Sigurdsson in the starting 11, which I think is a bit different, but they're actually giving players who don't really play a start, surprisingly.
Exactly. And I mean, for them, we already knew in the previous game they were already relegated and out of the competition. So currently sat on 0 points. Can they get at least 1 point on the board tonight? It'll be a tough test against England, but we'll have to find out. Indeed, England, of course, coming off the back of that 2-0 defeat to Belgium. But as for now, thank you very much, Rowan, as always. We'll see if we can bring you back in a moment for the score predictions. So that is the first game. And of course, as I said a moment ago, you can see the table as it currently stands. Iceland on 0 points. They've only scored 3 goals, conceded 13. England have been pretty poor themselves, in fact. Only scored 3 goals, conceded 4, although they've only played 5 games, which is quite poor indeed. And they've got 7 points in the group. Once again, they can't win anything at this stage of the competition. And as I said before, Belgium, Denmark, it is a case of whoever wins that game does go through into the knockout stages. Belgium only need 1 point to guarantee their spot in the knockout stages. Will they get it? We'll have to find out indeed, but that is the first set of fixtures done for tonight. We've still got 3 more to talk about. And the next game we are going to talk about is another winner, potentially takes all fixture, because we'll look at the group in a moment. And to watch this game between Poland and the Netherlands tonight is going to be Kieran D. How are we doing?
Hello there.
We all good?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. At you?
Good. Brilliant. That's what I am. Absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look at that Poland team tonight. 4-2-3-1 for the Polish tonight. A few changes in their side. Fabianski is in goal. Back 4 of Reka, Bednarek, Kamil Glik and Kedziora. Defensive midfield 2 of Krychowiak and Klik. Attacking midfield 3 of Joswiak on the left-hand side, Plaketa on the right, and Zielinski in the middle. And then up top is Robert Lewandowski, of course, struggled in Poland's previous game. And then Netherlands, they're going 4-3-3 tonight. They've changed their squad up a fair bit from their previous game. Tim Krul is in goal, back 4 of Van Aanholt on the left-hand side, Hatzeboa as the right back, and then Blind and De Vries, the 2 central defenders. Midfield 3 of Frenkie de Jong, Georginio Wijnaldum, who scored 2 in their last game, and Davy Klaassen. And then up top tonight, Daniel Malen, Memphis Depay in the middle, and Calvin Stengs. Poland, we talked about them in the last game, Kieran. You watched that game, in fact, and Lewandowski struggled to have any opportunities on goal. They're at home tonight. It's a must-win game for both of these sides. Who do you feel like is going to be the team that you would expect to come out on top?
Well, on paper, you're probably thinking the Netherlands, but I mean, they've not really been at their sparkling best during this Nations League campaign. Of course, the draw with Bosnia last time out was a disappointing one for them. They have got a lot more pace on the pitch tonight in the likes of Stengs and Marlon. Memphis Depay is a tricky character. Frenkie de Jong is a workhorse. So is Georginio Wijnaldum, of course. But Poland, like I said last time, they've got some decent players that can hurt you. They're quite resilient at the back, but like against Italy, they just weren't it going forward. They missed a lot of open play, and the fact that they just didn't look like they were out of the races. To be perfectly honest, Italy just absolutely dominated the more game. It could be a similar scenario tonight.
It could be indeed. Just to quickly look at how the group is standing right now, as you can see, Italy tonight facing off against Bosnia, which means all Italy has to do tonight is get that win against the side that currently sits bottom. As for Netherlands and Poland, they've both got to hope that somehow Italy drop points. A draw might not be enough for Italy tonight to get through. They've got to win their match. Of course, Bosnia will be looking to try and get a late victory, although they're already relegated. Poland and Netherlands have got to win no matter what happens tonight, just to make sure that Italy have some form of pressure on them. But thank you, KD, as always. He's going to be covering the game tonight between Netherlands and Poland. Netherlands with the advantage for now, but will Poland seek to make the most of their opportunities in this game and try and potentially finish top of the group? We will have to find out indeed. But that is the third game going on tonight across the board. Remember, there's 14 different games going on. We've got 5 to cover. Still got 2 more to talk about. And let's go and talk about this game between Hungary and Turkey. It is the most open group of all the groups in the Nations League so far. 3 teams could still finish at the top of the table. We'll have a look at that group in a moment. But to cover this game tonight is going to be Kieran L. How are we doing, buddy?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. Thought I'd change it up once again. 3-4-3 tonight for Hungary. A very different team, in fact, which we'll talk about in a moment. Debuji's in goal, back three of Fiola, Lang and Schlasly. Not both of them playing tonight, which is certainly good news for some of us. Nego, Siger, Nagy and Hangia and the midfield four. And then up top is Kalmar, Nemanja Nikolic and Konyeves. So that is the Hungary side tonight. And then Turkey, they're going with a 4-2-3-1 tonight. Gunok is in goal. Caner Erkin, Kabak, Demiral and Sangare make up the back four. Tekdemir and Tufan are the two defensive midfielders on the pitch tonight. Attacking three of Kenan Karaman, Hakan Çalhanoğlu and Kaveci. And then up top is the striker and captain of the side. Chenktos and Brakyam are still out after being suspended. It means that he doesn't feature in that starting 11 today. But when you look at this group, as I said, it's the most open group on paper right now. We could still see, I believe, Turkey potentially get relegated tonight, but they could also win the group. How important is it for not just these two teams facing off against each other, but even for Russia to put pressure on each other tonight, because it's the most open group across the board?
Yeah, these two lie in situations where, it's not really in their hands to win the group. It's in Russia's hands. But, they are still in with a shout. Even Turkey sitting third, they could definitely pick up a win tonight and go top of the group if Serbia can beat Russia. So they're in a difficult spot, but we've looked at the Hungary lineup, a lot of big players not in that team. You look, Galaxi's not in there, Shobajolai's not in there, Willie Orban's not there at the back. There's a lot of bigger players that aren't in that starting 11, whereas Turkey have gone with basically the strongest they could do, bar a couple of players, like Yusuf Yazici. But I think it's going to be a close game, and whoever wins this puts himself in a great spot to maybe win the group.
Certainly do indeed. Remember, this is in League Two, so the teams who finish at the top of the table do get promoted into League One. So we could see one of these sides get promoted tonight. Of course, as we said before, the other game that's going on in the group is the game between Russia and Serbia. I'll keep you up to date with that one. 14 games going on, but as for now, certainly could be an interesting group indeed. And the last time Turkey faced off, they did win 3-2 in a certainly massively dramatic match in the Nations League. So thank you very much, Kale, as always. Keep you up to date. That game, he'll be covering the game between Hungary and Turkey tonight. Of course, Hungary with a big weakened side, which is certainly interesting to see, missing some of their star players. And then finally, let's go on to the last game. He is the Israel enthusiast. He bows down to Aaron Zahavi. He's on the pitch tonight for Israel. They're facing up against the team who, of course, made it to the Euros a few days ago. It's Scotland. How are you doing, Will?
I'm doing great, mate. How are you?
Bloody brilliant, I am. Let's have a look at that Israel lineup tonight. They are not messing about. Remember, they have to try and win this game tonight if they want to survive in their group. 5-2-1-2 for the Israelis tonight. Marciano is in goal. Back five of Menachem, Nera Biton, Tibi, Yeni and Dasa. Midfield two of Nacho and Lavi. Attacking midfielder of Solomon. And then Shona Weissman and Zahavi is up top as we've just kicked off in some of our games now, which I'm just going to very quickly sort that out. There we go. It will say 5 minutes. It just saves some time. And then Scotland, 4-3-3 tonight. The hero of the Euro playoffs, Marshall, is in goal. Back four, Robertson, Tierney, Gallagher and O'Donnell. Midfield three of McTominay, Jack and McGinn. And then up top is McGregor, Dykes and Christie. Big game for Israel tonight, as you can see, in terms of the complexion of the group. They cannot get promoted. They could get relegated depending on the result between Czech Republic and Slovakia. As for Scotland, depending on that result, Scotland do need to go out there and win it. So although this doesn't look like the strongest game on paper, Will, it certainly has a lot on the line. Who do you think is going to win this game tonight?
I think it's going to be a tight one. As we've seen, these teams have faced off, I think, 2 or 3 times already the last few months in the Nations League and the Euro qualifiers, and they've all been really tight affairs. But both teams need to win this game because Scotland, obviously, they can't just rely on the Czech Republic losing to Slovakia. They need to go out and win the game to make sure they get promoted to the next league. And Israel also need to go out and try and win the game so they don't go down. So there's a lot riding on it, but I think it'll be a tight 1-1 draw tonight.
Hopefully, it should be a very good game indeed. Thank you very much, Will, as always. Greatly appreciate. So there we go. There's all of the 5 games tonight that we're going to be covering on the channel. Remember, you can see there are 14 different games to keep your eyes fixated on the screen tonight. It should be a very, very interesting set of fixtures across the board. Belgium and Denmark is tonight's main game. Those 14 fixtures include the following matches. So there's Austria taking on Norway. Remember, Norway tonight have got a much weakened side due to a COVID outbreak within the squad, which means that they've had to completely change their team up. Belgium taking on Denmark, Bosnia taking on Italy, who of course must win tonight, Italy, away from home if they want to get through into the knockout stages. The Nations League, the Czech Republic are taking on Slovenia tonight, England taking on Iceland, Greece taking on Slovakia, Hungary facing Turkey, Israel facing off against Scotland, Kosovo v Moldova, Northern Ireland taking on Romania. Romania, of course, looking like, well, it's pretty much done just in that group now, isn't it, in terms of it? Northern Ireland relegated as we have our first goal of the night. It's already 1-0 to Belgium. And, well, I don't know what time we are in this match, but Yuri Tielemans with the first goal of the night, and I have to say, it's a very, very similar goal indeed to the goal that he scored against England not too long ago in the Nations League a few days ago. I'm trying to find where I put Belgium on. There we go. So 1-0 to Belgium already. What a perfect start for them. Remember, they had to go out there tonight and get a victory in this match. Well, actually, they only needed to get a point on the board, but just seeing this opportunity now, which Romelu Lukaku just lays the ball on the outside of the box for Yuri Tielemans. And it's just a really good strike from the Leicester City midfielder. He hits it with some venom. It's hit low on the ground into that bottom right-hand corner. There's absolutely no chance that Kasper Schmeichel's going to save it. And, well, it's certainly working out perfectly for Belgium in these first few minutes because we've got the first goal of the night. Yuri Tielemans has his second goal in 2 games in the Nations League, and it puts them in a perfect position to potentially get themselves that knockout spot. They have been fantastic in this Nations League indeed. So we've already got a goal on the night. We're not even, I would probably say 2 or 3 minutes in. I can't see because they don't actually have the scoreboard on the screen right now, so you can't tell what minute the game is in. But first goal of the night, and of course, I think we'll see plenty of goals across the board in these 14 games. And continuing on from where I left off, there's other games going on tonight, which includes Northern Ireland taking on Romania. Northern Ireland already relegated from the Nations League group, unfortunately. Poland taking on the Netherlands. We've got the Republic of Ireland taking on Bulgaria tonight. Serbia facing Russia. Wales taking on Finland. So plenty of games across the board to keep you updated with. Belgium and Denmark is that main game, but no doubt I am going to be trying to peer as much as I can over those 14 different matches because, well, it's going to get eventful tonight. And then the other games, for those of you that have just joined, you're wondering, well, what are the main games we're covering tonight? The other boys, they're watching on in the background. Rowan is covering England, who are taking on Iceland. Of course, someone has to watch England, as painful as it is. Poland taking on Netherlands, Israel facing off against Scotland, and Hungary facing off against Turkey. So do keep your eyes out tonight, because what we will be doing constantly when the goals do go in is you'll be able to see the standings on your screen now. We'll keep your eyes out on how the standings change across the night. And, well, with that first goal of the night, you can see Belgium now have a 5-point advantage over Denmark. 15 points for the Belgians, 10 for Denmark. You could still technically see tonight England get the same amount of points or more as them, of course, but because Denmark beat England head-to-head, it does mean that they would finish second no matter what. So, of course, we're not going to see any changes tonight in terms of the complexion of how the groups currently stand. But we're going to go over to Kieran L, because there has been a chance in his game tonight. Hungary taking on Turkey. The question is, who's had that opening chance of the game?
It was Turkey, and I was actually going to get you to come to me earlier because it was a free kick, and if you know a person on Turkey's team that can hit a free kick, it is Hakan Çalhanoğlu, and he's about 35, it may be even further yards out, and he hits the knuckleball, and it dips. The keeper just manages to get enough behind it, but it does bobble from that, but he gets the recovery, the goalkeeper Debush. But I thought, you know what it's like, Josh, when Çalhanoğlu lines up a free kick, usually they're close, and he was this time, but just missed.
Certainly loves a free kick, doesn't he? Thank you very much, Kieran L. As always, still 0-0 in that game, but we've got another goal elsewhere because we're going to go over to KD now. He's watching that game between Poland and Netherlands. The question is, Poland, both teams need to win tonight, but the question is, who's taking that early lead? Kieran D.
Well, against the run of play, Poland have taken the lead, and it is such a good goal from Jozwiak. Picks it up about 35 yards out on the counter. He sprints past Davy Klaassen into the area, chinks past Daley Blind, and just taps it into the bottom corner. I urge you to watch this goal. It's such a good run by the Pole. And against the run of play, they lead. And honestly, they've been very, very good in the opening 6 minutes.
Perfect start indeed for Poland. Thank you very much, KD. As always, that is a big goal in the group because as it currently stands in that Nations League group, Poland will go into second place. Remember, Italy beating them on head-to-head. So tonight for Poland, it really is a case of not really much happening for them, unfortunately. They need to probably score a few more goals, but I think it won't do them no favour with the head-to-head standings. But 10 points on the board tonight. They won't be relegated no matter what happens. As for the Netherlands, well, they need to go out there and try and get a result tonight if they want to get through in the group. And it's a good early start of that match. Poland 1, Netherlands 0. A lot of work to do for the Dutchies if they want to get back into that match early on into the game. So we've had 2 nice and early goals. And then, of course, we spoke to Kieran a moment ago about Hungary-Turkey. Well, we know a player who likes to take a free kick. It certainly is Hakan Çalhanoğlu. And, well, he tried a very good long-range effort, but unfortunately hasn't come off and not gone into the back of the net. But what did go into the back of the net was that chance earlier from Yuri Tielemans, the first goal of the night. Luckily now, I can actually see what the scoreline and the minute of the game's actually is currently standing at. We are about 7 minutes in, so I apologise here if you just say 10 minutes on your clock. It's just making my life a lot more easy tonight in terms of the updates of what scores going on, because there's 14 games going on tonight. That's the most games I think we've ever tried to cover in one go. And, well, unfortunately, we haven't got everybody covering a game, which would be nice if we had 14 different people covering each game. It made my life a lot more easy. But, of course, we've got those big 5 other games we're keeping our eyes on tonight. Question is, can we get some more early goals? Because we've got to talk about last night's action in the Nations League. It was certainly a very, very eventful night across the board. I mean, Spain, of course, winning 6-0 against Germany was the biggest result on the night indeed. And I think it surprised just a lot of people on how that result came out to be. And we had other results elsewhere. I think Latvia was won their game 5-0 in the end. There was the big game between Croatia and Portugal where there was a few goals, a red card. It was a dramatic match indeed. And if we can see something similar tonight, that would be absolutely fantastic across the board in the Nations League. But we'll have to keep our eyes out indeed, because there's just so much action going on. It's relentless. And I mean, we can talk through, through a couple of these games here as Denmark just have their first bit of spell on possession on the ball is what I wanted to say, spell of possession in the defensive half of play. Of course, going down 1-0 in the first couple of minutes is certainly not a good sign indeed for the Danes, but they've got a long ball here and there could be a good chance for them to come forward. And they're playing a 4-2-3-1 tonight, and it is Wind who's playing up top, and it's Mihail who'd come forward, but the ball to him is just a little bit too heavy, and he's going to go out of play for a goal kick. So very, very unlucky there indeed. But so far on the night, we've only got 2 goals, Belgium and the Poland game. But in fact, we have had another goal in one of the games tonight. Not in one of the games we're keeping our eyes out on, though. Big goal in the group between Serbia, Russia, Hungary and Turkey, because Serbia have taken a 1-0 lead against Russia. Now, this is absolutely massive for the standings of this group, because as you can see right now, it means Hungary go top of the group without doing anything in tonight's game so far. Remember, of course, if Turkey win tonight, I believe Turkey go into the top of the group right now. But Russia 1-0 down early on in their game. Certainly something you don't want to see. And the goal scorer was Nemanja Radonjic, who scored actually in Serbia's previous Nations League game, which means we've already got a goal in that match. That one is a very, very interesting group, because there's so much at stake for pretty much all 4 teams tonight. We will know who's relegated and who's going up tonight. But all 4 teams are playing for something, which makes those 2 games specifically between Hungary, Turkey, Serbia and Russia very, very exciting. But if you're a Hungary fan right now, you're sat top of the table, and right now it's 0-0 against Turkey. If you can get a goal in that match, you could really seal a top spot tonight. But of course, Turkey might hear the news as well about the early goal being conceded and look to push forward in their match. But we'll have to find out indeed. First goal of the night in that game, 1-0 to Serbia against Russia. But coming back to this game for now, we're a little bit quiet the rest across to the board. Denmark, as I said, just having a bit of a spell of possession right now, looking to just calm down this really, really dangerous Belgium attack. Belgian attack that they've got as they look to come forward. A ball laid off from the path of Delaney into the space on the right wing to Poulsen, but his pass is just a little bit too heavy and it doesn't come to anything in the end. But we are going to go over now to Kieran D. He's had the one of the earliest goals of the night so far between Poland and Netherlands. Poland taking the lead in that game. The question is, are the Netherlands getting back into it, or Poland? Would you look like they're going to score a second?
Well, it's the Netherlands who had this chance, and it's a really, really poor finish, to be honest. Jorginho Wijnaldum in these sort of situations normally buries these. Put through back Patrick Van Aanen after a lovely move down left-hand side. He's one-on-one with the keeper. and he just boots it straight at him with no power at all. A really poor effort. Normally, he is so reliable in situations like that. But yeah, still 1-0, and Netherlands are really, really getting their foot on the ball now, Josh.
You'd expect them to. Thank you very much, Katie. As always, Poland currently 1-0 up against the Netherlands. They've got to really push now in this game, Netherlands, because as it currently stands in that group, for those of you that are wondering what is going on in that group right now, well, in fact, I think it might have, no, it hasn't changed. I thought there'd been another goal elsewhere, but you can see right now, with Poland taking the lead in that game, because of their head-to-head record against Italy, Italy stay on top. The Netherlands, they must go out there and win tonight because they could finish top of the group as it stands. But let's go over to KD once again, because apparently there's been another chance almost instantly. Who's had it, Kieran?
Well, it's the Netherlands again, and it should really be 1-1 this time. It's a ball floated over from Depay, and all David Klaassen has to do to score is connect with the ball, and he completely flaps at it and misses it, and it bounces into Fabianski's hands, but it's such a bad miss. That's 2 in about 2 minutes for the Netherlands now. It should be 2-1 to them.
Thank you very much, KD. It really should be 2-1 to them. 2 big opportunities wasted there for the away side. And, well, the Netherlands currently having a really, really poor kind of period of play under their new manager, Frank de Boer. And, well, he's just a shite manager, so I don't know why he's got the Netherlands job in the first place. But first manager in the Dutch national team's history to go 4 games without a victory. And I don't know why in the first place they decided to bring him in as manager, but hey-ho, he is the manager of the Netherlands, and there's got a lot of work to do with this Dutch side if they want to get back into the game, because we're going to go over to KD once again. It is chances galore right now in that match. There's been another chance, surely not for the Dutch.
I can't believe Daniel Malen has not scored this. He's free in the box. There's nobody around him, and he's headed it wide. Josh, it should be 1-1 at least by now. That's 3 chances in 2 minutes they've had. I cannot believe he's missed that one.
That's very, very poor indeed. It should be 3-1 technically with the amount of chances they've had in this space of 2 minutes. But thank you very much, KD. It looks like that game tonight is going to have plenty of opportunities, not just for the Dutch, but hopefully for the Polish as well. But there's still 1-0 as it currently stands, Poland against the Netherlands. And, well, good start to that game for Kieran D. He's covering that match tonight. He certainly had a flurry of opportunities early on into this game. Apologies, trying to sort out my headphones there. Just got all tangled up. But we've got a chance here for Belgium to come forward early on into this game. Just trying to push here, and it's the number 14, who is Dries Mertens, lays the ball off towards the path of Thorgan Hazard. Ball's lobbed into the box, but some good defending there from Simon Kjaer means that the ball isn't crossed into the box, and it doesn't come into anything into the end. Doesn't come to anything in the end. Couldn't say my words there. There's been a yellow card in that game between Poland and Netherlands. Krikoviak has gone into the book with an early yellow card in that game, so we'll have to see what happens there, of course. And there has been some drama elsewhere, because we've already had a red card tonight in one of the games that we're not currently watching. If you're a Welsh fan tonight, you will be absolutely buzzing, because this could be a very enjoyable 80 minutes of action. But will Finland be able to hold on, because they're down to 10 men, Finland. Red card to Jari Unninen in the 12th minute of the match means that Finland have got a lot of work to do if they want to try and come out with a result in that match. But as it currently stands there, still 0-0 between Wales and Finland. Red card to the away side. It's going to be a long, long night for that Finland side, which includes the likes of Gareth Bale and Daniel James up top. So they're going to have a lot of pressure on them. And, of course, the play there being sent off, which was Urunen, the left mid. Going to be a long night, it looks like, for Finland. Still 0-0 in that game, though, as it currently stands in terms of the games across the board right now. We've had a few goals in this first kind of 10 or 15 minutes of action tonight. Belgium 1-0 up against Denmark. That was the first goal of the night, courtesy of Yuri Tielemans. That's 2 goals now in 2 Nations League fixtures, and 2 goals outside of the box as well, which is certainly always fun to see. We've had 1-0 to Poland between Netherlands. A good game so far between those 2 sides. Netherlands have missed a fair few opportunities in that match, but ultimately it was Kamil Josivak with the goal in that game to put them into the lead. And then elsewhere, Serbia were within a 1-0 lead against Russia. And that is pretty much it for now. But we're going to go over to KD once again, because there's been a 4th chance in the space of, about 3 or 4 minutes. Surely it's not the Netherlands again.
No, it's Poland this time, and what a great chance to double the lead. Plaqueta just runs down the right-hand side. Nobody's even with him. Sprints himself into the area, takes a shot on his right foot and hits the post. It's very unlucky, but really, really good football so far in this game. Very open, Josh.
Sounds very open and very enjoyable indeed. Thank you very much, KD, as always. Still currently 1-0 to Poland in that match. sounds like there's been a hell of a lot of opportunities early on. I mean, I'm just looking at the stats right now. There's been a fair few chances for both sides in that game, but ultimately Poland still with a 1-0 lead. Unfortunately, they can't top the group tonight unless Italy drop points in their game against Bosnia, which they'd have to lose. But we've got a goal in our game. It's certainly game on here because it's Belgium 1, Denmark 1. And it's Jonas Wind with the goal, and it's a lovely ball whipped into the box. A fantastic finish from Jonas Wind, the youngster, who certainly hasn't had a great deal of game time for the Danish side, but he's been picked tonight to come into this match. And it was a long ball that was lobbed in. I'm just seeing it. Christian Eriksen lays a ball onto the left wing. It's Martin Braithwaite who tries to take a shot on. It's deflected in the end by Vertonghen. Comes into the path of Jonas Wind. It's a lovely header. That isn't going to be saved by Thibaut Courtois, and it goes into the back of the net. It's 1-0. 1-1. It's definitely not 1-0. It's 1-1 in this game, and it's game on because remember tonight, if Denmark win this match, they will be going through to the knockout stages of the Nations League. Belgium, as it currently stands, they're still going through as we've had another goal elsewhere tonight. The Czech Republic have taken a 1-0 lead in their match. We'll have a quick look at that in just a moment as we have just got into the 15th. Well, we're nearly into the 20th minute, so I'm going to change it right now. But 1-1 between these two sides. Going to be an enjoyable game indeed. And I've only just seen all your comments. Apologies. The comments have just come up on the screen. I will go through them in a second, but I wasn't able to see comments for 20 minutes there. But Czech Republic, as I said, are 1-0 up in their match as it currently stands. And the goal in that game has gone to Thomas Souček. Rowan must be absolutely buzzing right now. The West Ham midfielder has got the goal in that game, which means they are 1-0 up as it currently stands. And I'm seeing he's pumping his fist. He's loving it right now. 1-0 to the Czech Republic against Slovakia in their game. A big goal in that match indeed. And a big goal for Belgium and Denmark. But let's go through your comments very quickly. Apologies, because they've only just come up on the screen now, which is very frustrating indeed. Kyle saying, hi all, how are we? Thank you very much for joining us, Kyle. Hope you're good as always. Chris saying, hi Josh, hope you're well. Southgate is the one, of course. Wijnaldum is a different player for Netherlands compared to Liverpool. Completely agree with you on that when he turns into a different animal. And then Kieran, Chris, of course, but just stay with Kieren, of course, with all those chances, which there has been certainly plenty of chances in the game. And then just put, can't wait for no international football till March. The real football back this weekend. Luckily, my local team, Carlisle, been playing recently. But yeah, apologies about that. Only just got to see your comments now, which is really annoying indeed. It looks like the StreamYard section of the comments hasn't been working tonight. So if you are sending in comments and they don't come up, I do sincerely apologise. It is a real shame indeed. But hopefully it's fixed itself now. But got a chance here for Belgium to come forward almost instantly. Ball lobbed into the box from Kevin De Bruyne. It's cleared away. And what a start to this match indeed. It's certainly been an absolutely fantastic match so far. Both teams really going for it in this game, as you would expect, of course. There hasn't been any other goals across the board. There hasn't indeed. So let's cover this corner for now. It's played in by Kevin De Bruyne towards Lukaku. Oh, he's so unlucky in the end because Lukaku just couldn't rise high enough. And in the end, it's cleared away by Mihail at the left-back position. And it was a good chance indeed for Lukaku to make it 2-1 after 20 minutes. And well, it's another one of those games. It was similar last night to the Spain-Germany game. You know, both teams have to go for it in this match. And, well, this one's already delivered us 2 goals instantly. And I'm certainly glad I picked this one to start off the evening. But it looks like the comments are working now because Chris put give StreamYard a call to say their app is garbage. I wouldn't say usually it's garbage, just tonight it hasn't come up with the comments, which is certainly a shame indeed. But good to see they've come up now. Certainly frustrating for that first 20 minutes. It just looked like no one was in the stream. But yeah, as it currently stands, Belgium 1, Denmark 1. And now Denmark have got that equaliser back, which was a little bit of a scruffy equaliser, you could say, at the very least. You know, Denmark not really having a great deal of opportunities in this game so far, but they're well and truly in this match. And, well, when you actually have a look at the group right now, it doesn't change anything in terms of how the group currently looks. But remember tonight, if Denmark do win this match, which they're coming forward now, and it's just a pulse on the left wing, and it could be a good chance here for them to make it 2-1. If they do win, then they will go into the knockout stages of the group. But it's Mihail on the ball. He's going to lay it off into the path of Højbjerg. Long ball into the box towards Braithwaite, and Courtois is just able to get the ball. Braithwaite very nearly getting a touch on that ball and could have made it 2-1 from 2 very lucky kind of squabbles in the box in terms of crosses. Made very, very awkward for this Belgian back line right now, and they're struggling with the opportunities that they're making, Denmark. The question is, can they make the most of those chances, Denmark? And we have had another goal elsewhere tonight. And just as we've talked about the group between Poland and Netherlands, it's been relentless so far in that match. It could mean completely nothing for both sides because Italy have taken a 1-0 lead in that match against Bosnia. Andrea Bellotti, the 22nd minute, with the opening goal of that game, which means now, if we look at that group as it currently stands, let me take off Belgium and Denmark, it does mean that Italy will top the group no matter what happens, even if Netherlands or Poland were to win this game. Of course, both those sides tonight, Poland and Netherlands, relying on the fact that Italy lose to Bosnia. So certainly frustrating if you're a Polish fan tonight, but even a win against Netherlands would certainly be a positive thing to come out of the Nations League with. And you could still finish second, which I think they would have never expected in their group. But let's go over to Rowan, because there has been a goal in that game between England and Iceland. The question is, have England taken the lead, or are Iceland about to get their first few points on the board? Rowan.
England have taken the lead, and it's a nice goal by Declan Rice. I can't see who whips that ball in. I don't know who it is, but Trippier goes to sorts of fake to whip the ball, cross the ball in from a really nice little position of a free kick. And someone whips in, Declan Rice just blitzed past all the Icelandic defenders, wide open, flicks it to the bottom right corner. Very simple goal it was. Renarsson's blocking him. I can let you know when I see him. It was Phil Foden with a lovely little ball in, just in front of all the defenders. Rice is the quickest to react, heads it in, bottom left, lovely little goal.
Perfect goal for England indeed. Thank you very much as always. Rowan, England 1-0 up in that match as it currently stands. You can see on your screen right now. Remember that these two sides tonight not playing for anything in terms of promotion and relegation. Iceland already relegated, and England, of course, cannot finish, unfortunately for them, in the top section of the group to get into the knockout stages. So they will finish third no matter what happens tonight. But either way, 10 points on the board, certainly not bad for England. Iceland looking like they're about to finish with 6 losses out of 6. It's perfectly. It certainly has been a very poor campaign for the Nations League side tonight. Iceland, of course. But let's have a quick look at the chat, see what you guys have been saying. Although Denmark are in here, it could be a great chance. What a save from Courtois. It was Martin Braithwaite just inside the box on the right wing. He's one-on-one with Courtois. He makes a clutch save indeed, and that could be a massive save in the complexion of the group. But Chris has put annoying no doubts on tonight on the I'm a Celebrity. Saves my night. And then Mark Peters asked, how was Poland's goal? Can they hold on to a win? Well, we'll have a quick talk about that in a moment, because we are going to go back to Rowan very quickly and talk about that England-Iceland game, because there has been another chance. The question is it England continuing their dominance, or are Iceland looking for an equaliser?
It was nearly 2-0. Trippier gets the ball out on the far right-hand side, whips it in, it's bundled right. The ball loops in the air to Mason Mount, who completely misses it, but he controls it straight after the bounce, plays it through to Jack Grealish, who puts it across the face of the goal again, bumbled around again. And then Saka, who was in the middle of the box, goes to swing it, but it's a lovely lovely save by Renarson, but it seems like he's made a meal of it, but it turns out it's a lovely save. He just falls back, pushes it out. Kane can't poke in, Saka can't poke in, and Iceland do eventually cleared. But England having a lot of pressure on Iceland right now.
Thank you very much, Rowan. As always, England looking like they're going to dominate that game indeed, with plenty of chances. We'll talk of that Poland game in a moment, as I said, because we are going to go to another game. There's been a chance in one of the matches between Hungary and Turkey, which Kieran L is watching right now. Who's had that chance, Kieran?
This one's to Hungary, and I've got to admit, Josh, we might not have had the goals, but it's been a really nice game. Both teams, every time they get the ball, their first thought is to go forward, and that's just what you want to see. It was Nigo, the right wing back. He was released down the right-hand side with a lovely through ball, and it's one of them where you whip it across the box just so the keeper can't come and claim it. Sadly, Konivez could not stretch enough, and Turkey coming forward, he's pulled it back, and it's now a corner. So I apologise, Josh. There was another chance while he was talking to me, but yeah, just missed Konivez's outstretched leg. Good game, though, so far.
Thank you very much, Kieran L. As it currently stands, Hungary 0, Turkey 0 in that match. Let's have a quick look at the comments before we talk about things. Carl saying the Republic of Ireland Bulgaria game ain't on TV where I'm from, but they showed the England and Iceland game, which is crazy when you think about it, Carl. They should have the game on. Mark Peters in the chat. Of course, you asked about that Poland goal. We'll talk in a second. But look at this, the production value on this elbow cough long. I wish we had money, Mark. If we had money, we'd make this into we'd have a TV studio and everything, but we're currently poor as shit. So hopefully maybe one day we might be able to make the production value a bit better. But we enjoy the goal show. We absolutely love it. But let's go over to the game. You asked about the Poland game. There's actually been a chance in that match. So we'll ask Kieran, of course, after that chance. But who's had that chance in the match, Kieran?
Yeah, great chance for Netherlands to get back into the game. Wijnaldum again, it was with the chance. It was a lovely ball over by Calvin Stengs. Little flick pass over the top of his head. on the volley, and Wijnaldum, it was bouncing as he hit it, and it was a great block from Camille Glick to surely save it from going to 1-1 in this game. But Mark did ask about the first Poland goal. It was a really good goal. It was a really good goal from Jozwiak, putting down the left-hand side, but I think it was Krychowiak, just ran straight down inside the area, sprinted past 2 Netherlands players and poked it back across himself into the left-hand side corner of the net. Nothing Krul could do as it hit the post and went in. But yeah, Poland looking good for their lead now as Malins into the box, does a few tricks and wins a corner for Netherlands. But yeah, the Netherlands are definitely getting back into this game as we speak.
Thank you very much as always, Kieran. Greatly appreciated. Poland 1, Netherlands 0. Let's go over because there's been another goal in one of the games tonight. We're going to go over to Rowan because England-Iceland has had plenty of chances in these last couple of minutes. But the question is, Rowan, are England 2-0 up or Iceland back into the game?
They're 2-0 up, and it's Mason Mount this time. Harry Maguire plays a lovely little through ball through to Saka, crossing the box. Can't out with the header, but most importantly, falls back, stays in the box to Mason Mount, who takes it past one of the Icelandic defenders and slots it past the keeper. And routine, simple. England played very well. Playing very well indeed. Just a shame they couldn't play well against Belgium in a couple of days ago. Yeah. Could have been talking about maybe getting promoted in the group, but unfortunately not. But thank you very much, Rowan, as always. 2 goals already in that match. England at the double, which is certainly nice to see. But let's go over to Kieren because, as he said, there's been plenty of opportunities in his match. Good game so far, but there has been another chance. Who's it to this time, Kieren?
This time it's Turkey. It was identical up the other end. It was a lovely throw-in by Sangari. It caused a lot of problems in the Hungary area. Everyone's claiming handball apart from Kalanoglu, who gets out his feet and strikes it across goal. Keeper does well to keep hold of it, but it's what we say, Josh, you've always got to play to the whistle, and it almost came costly for Hungary.
Certainly does indeed. You've got to play to the whistle. Thank you very much, Kieran. As always, Hungary 0, Turkey 0. We've just had a really good chance in this game between Belgium and Denmark. It was Kevin De Bruyne on the left wing. He lobs the ball into the box and Lukaku gets his head onto it. I thought this was going to go into the back of the net and Belgium were going to be 2-1 up. Somehow, he just doesn't get a good enough connection on the ball and it just goes wide the right-hand side of the post. Really unlucky indeed. But we've had another goal elsewhere. It's 2-0 now to Serbia. In their game against Russia, they had to go out there tonight and get a result, Russia, if they wanted to get through to the knockout stage. Sorry, not to the knockout stages. If they wanted to get promoted in their group of the Nations League, they're certainly not putting up a performance tonight because Luka Jovic has made it 2-0 in their match, which means, of course, as it currently stands in that group, you can see on your screen right now, let's go over to that group. With Serbia winning the game, it means Hungary, because they're drawing against Turkey right now, 0-0, will actually top the group. However, if Turkey win the game, I believe Turkey will get promoted in the group. So it's certainly a very, very even group indeed. And there's still a lot on the line. 0-0 in that game between Hungary and Turkey. And of course, 2-0 to Serbia in their match against Russia. But let's have a look at the comments right now and see what you guys have been saying. Chris saying, Wijnaldum more of a goal scorer for Netherlands, for Liverpool. He's more of a solid, hard-working, workhorse midfielder. Typical England, turn up when it doesn't matter. That's all I'm going to say. And then he said, I think teams and people will take the Nations League a little bit more seriously once it's had a few more years of the competition. Then I think people will take it a little bit more seriously. But we all know UEFA created it for the money. But you have to say, and I think last night proved a very good point. You know, a lot of the games last night that were going on, the bigger games at the very least, were really enjoyable matches. You know, Spain beating Germany 6-0. Croatia's game against Portugal was fantastic. France-Sweden was dramatic at the very end. We thought maybe Sweden were going to get back into it later on, but it's certainly an interesting competition indeed. And I guess, as you said, a little bit more time, a little bit more belief from fans and things like that. And this could turn into a very good competition over the next couple of years. And then Mark Peters has put, this is amazing. Respect the passion and the grind. Gareth Bale, heart on me, Mark Peters. God bless you, honestly. We have a shoestring budget, but we try our best on this channel. But yeah, we're just looking across the board, seeing if there's any other goals tonight. Finland still, of course, down to 10 men against Wales. Serbia, as it stands, 2-0 up against Russia tonight. Czech Republic 1-0 up against Slovakia, courtesy of Thomas Souček. And across the board, not really as many goals as I thought there'd be in the 14 games so far, but it certainly makes my job fairly easy indeed. But we've got a corner here for Belgium. Ball's lobbed into the box, and oh my lord, I thought there we were going to get that goal in the match to put Belgium into the lead. The ball came down into the path of Leandro Dendoncker, who just tries to take the shot from inside the box, but it hits his knee as the ball's bobbling, and in the end, unfortunately, doesn't come to anything for Belgium. Still 1-1 in this match. And we've got about 14 minutes left of action. But if you are new to the stream and you have enjoyed it so far on the Goal Show, Do leave a like and subscription. We're only around, I'd say, 10 subscribers away from 1,300, I think we are. So we're slowly getting there. And as I said, we've got plenty more goal shows to come on the channel. We're going to be doing the Champions League goal show next Tuesday and Wednesday. We're covering every UCL game live on the channel over the next year. We've got more International Nations League watch-alongs to come next year when the competitions and things like that return. So keep your eyes out for more international content. And then, of course, we've got loads of other sporting content to come on the channel as well. So do subscribe if you are new, as always. But welcome to the stream, Stranger Replay. I hope you're good. Thanks for joining us on the channel. And then Cal's put, not sure if true, but I heard Germany will stick with Joachim Löw for now up until the Euros, I think. Well, fuck me. They've got a real problem on their hands after last night's performance. Why you'd stick with him, I'd have absolutely no idea. A very fraudulent manager indeed. But we've got another goal elsewhere on the night. Kosovo have just taken a 1-0 lead in their match against Moldova. Now, we'll, of course, have a look at the group and see what complexions that has in terms of the group standings for the lower ends of the table. But Kosovo 1-0 up in their game. Linum Kosrati with the goal in the 31st minute, which means, of course, they've got a 1-0 lead. Is that going to change anything in their group? Let's have a quick look and find out. Of course, they're currently sat in League C, alongside some of the smaller groups. And of course, Kosovo are winning this game, but it is between Slovenia and Greece for that top spot. Both of those sides playing off against each other right now. So Kosovo will survive unless Moldova, actually, and again, I don't think Moldova would be able to. I think Kosovo pretty much safe anyway, Moldova relegated, which is a real shame for them. But Kosovo 1-0 up in their match. But we're going to go to Will for the first time tonight. Of course, Will covering that game between Israel and Scotland. Scotland tonight, they need to win depending on the result that happens for Czech Republic. As for Israel, they need to win tonight, or else they could be relegated from their Nations League group. The question is, who's had the first real big chance of the game, Will?
It's a chance for Scotland, and this game's been quite flat. I said before the game, both teams have seemed to cancel each other out when they've played each other in previous times, and it's been the exact same tonight. But the first chance for Scotland, really, really good ball in by Scott McTominay. He got that much whip on it. All it needed was a little flick to direct it to goal. John McGinn flicks it on, but the goalkeeper for Israel, Marciano, makes a fantastic diving save to flip it around the post and prevent the goal, put it into a corner. But yeah, other than that, it's been a very flat game, but with the scores how they are at the moment, Scotland do need to win this game because Czech Republic are winning, which if that stays the same, Czech Republic will go up as group winners, so Scotland need to push on here and try and get a winner. But first 35 minutes, I'd probably say it's been very, very even.
Thank you very much, Will. As always, is Will's perfectly put. Scotland have to go out there now and win their group, of course, as it currently stands in their group, which we'll have a look now. Let's go and scout League B. As it currently stands, Czech Republic on top on 12 points. Scotland has to go out there and beat Israel tonight. As it currently stands, a point will not be enough for them to get promoted into the top ends of the groups. And, well, Israel doing a very good job indeed, because a point for them right now, as it currently stands, will keep them in the Nations League League B and not get relegated. So Scotland are the team with a lot of pressure on them. But we've had another goal elsewhere in one of the groups we're not keeping our eyes out on tonight. We said earlier in the kind of, I think it was about the 15th minute, Finland were down to 10 men in their match. And, well, Wales have taken advantage of that. They are currently 1-0 up in their game against Finland. Harry Wilson in the 29th minute with the first goal of the game. And I can see that having a few goals in it. Of course, Finland down to 10 men early on. A lot of pressure on them. And let's go and have a look at their group, because as it currently stands in the group between Wales and Finland, it is a game between the top two sides. And with Finland going down to 10 men, it's cost them massively tonight. Wales will probably, and I would say 90% sure that they will finish top tonight, no matter what happens. Fantastic result for them. And as for the rest of the two sides, Republic of Ireland and Bulgaria, well, they're fighting to survive. Certainly big pressure on them tonight to go out there and get a result against each other. But as it currently stands, Wales top of the group, they will be getting promoted, which is certainly what Welsh fans will want to see indeed. As Strange Reapers put, Wales 1-0 Finland now. And then he's changed his name to Dominator RBLX. Thank you very much for joining us, buddy. Hope you're all good as always. Nice to see the name change there. Certainly found it a lot quicker than I did when I had to change the name of this channel. Bloody nightmare trying to search how you do it on YouTube. But got a chance here for Belgium to come forward. Ball trying to be lobbed into the box towards Lukaku. It's deflected from the Danish players, and it's going to go out to play for a Belgian corner. And we've not really spoke much about this match tonight, just because there's so many different games going on. And it's been a very good game indeed. You know, Belgium having more chances in this match than Denmark have, but Denmark making the most of the chances. the very few chances that they've had in this game, as the corner's whipped into the box, but goes straight into the hands of Kasper Schmeichel. It's a very, very easy save indeed for him. Not much work had to be done there from that really poor resulting corner. So as it currently stands right now, across the board, Belgium 1, Denmark 1, England 2, Iceland 0, Poland 1, Netherlands 1, Israel 0, Scotland 0, and Hungary 0, Turkey 0 across the games that we're covering tonight. The other games going on as well in the background. Austria 0-0 against Norway. Bosnia 1-0 down to Italy tonight. First goal in that game came from Andrea Bellotti in the 22nd minute. England, of course, I said a moment ago, 2-0 up against Iceland. Greece and Slovenia, as it stands, 0-0. Hungary 0, Turkey 0. Kosovo 1-0 up against Moldova. Northern Ireland 0-0 against Romania. We've got Republic of Ireland, who were 0-0 against Bulgaria. Serbia 2-0 up against Russia. And Wales 1-0 up against Finland. But we are going to go over to Rowan now, because there has been a chance in his game between England and Iceland. Well, England is 2-0 up as it currently stands. Iceland still bottom of the group on 0 points. Is it another England chance, Robin?
Yeah, it was, and it was Phil Foden this time. Harry Kane just plays a lovely ball through. Foden's behind the defence. I'd say it's probably two. It's not one-on-one with the keeper. There's a defender very close to him, but he takes a shot and it's a great save. Not by Renarson. I thought Renarson was in it. No, it's Christiansen. But it's a lovely save by him. Just gets to that bottom, just gets fingertips only just, and Foz out for the corner. The corner comes to nothing, but Foden and Mount are playing really well today. Like, Foden's had a really good 35 minutes so far, which is a bright spark at least.
Certainly a positive for England indeed. Thank you very much, as always, Rowan. England 2-0 to the good against Iceland in a game that doesn't really mean anything to both sides. Iceland already relegated, and England cannot get promoted. Not promoted. They can't go into the Nations League knockout stages, which therefore means this game doesn't really mean anything in the complexion of things. But England 2-0 up. Good to see them having a decent performance when it means absolutely nothing. But we are now edging towards the 40th minute of tonight's games. There's 14 different matches going on across the board. And Jeremy Nolan in the chat has said, how are Belgium ranked #1 in the world? And I mean, Dominator's put, don't know, Spain, France, Brazil are all better than them. That's certainly an interesting debate to talk about in the chat. But we are going to go back to Rowan once again, because there's certainly been a flurry of chances in this game between England and Iceland. Who's had this chance this time, Rowan?
You were surprised here. It's England again. They're coming out, and this one is another prime opportunity. Foden again plays the ball through to Saka. Saka gets the ball into the middle to Harry Kane. Harry Kane then takes it past two Icelandic defenders, and he was being held. It probably could have gone down. He keeps going. He's about to fall off. Keeps going. Gets the shot off, and it's about to head into the bottom left, but there's an Icelandic defender touch on it that just puts it wide of the corner. But this game could end a lot worse for Iceland so far.
Very nervous indeed for Iceland, but more goals for England certainly isn't bad indeed. And more goals for Rowan makes it even better in terms of watching. But right now, we're England 2, Iceland 0 in this match, as Denmark are coming forward here with a chance. The ball from Eriksson, trying to loft it towards Braithwaite on the right wing, just making a move inside the box. The pass just a little bit too heavy, and in the end, the ball does land in hands of Courtois. And they've had a few decent little chances here, Denmark, to come forward. And as you guys have said in the chat, I mean, Belgium at times, you know, they look like a decent side. I guess some of the competitive games that they've played will push them up. The ranking system, I don't think the ranking system is very fair, to be honest. It's such a complex and stupid system they've got for ranking teams. I don't really know why they use it. But we're going to go over to Kieran D now, because his game started off absolutely relentless between Poland and Netherlands. Netherlands could have been 3-1 up after kind of 10 or 15 minutes, but it's died down a little bit. The question is, who's had that chance late on in the first half?
Well, again, it was the Netherlands, and a good chance to get back into this game. And if they should have scored one of the chances they had earlier, they should have scored this one for sure. Lovely little reverse switch pass by Daniel Malen to get Frankie de Jong in behind the defence. He was literally one-on-one with the keeper on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Very disappointing finish, which has just literally been probably Netherlands all night, to be honest. Really bad finishing. Kicks it straight at Fabianski, who makes a good save, to be fair to him. But yeah, still 1-0.
Still 1-0 to Poland. Thank you very much, Katie, as always. Netherlands not being clinical enough tonight in their match. Remember, as the group currently stands, Italy will be top. They are currently beating Bosnia 1-0. So no matter what happens in this game between Poland and Netherlands, it doesn't change anything unless Italy drop points. Then we could see one of these two sides potentially finish top tonight. Although it cannot be Poland because of their head-to-head record against Italy. However, I believe the Netherlands might be able to win their group. But have a look at the chat right now. Bonaldo, he's in the stream. He says, out of work early. How are we doing, lads? And I got an ad before the video. I've got to let those play out fully for you, boys. You're absolute legend. God bless you, Bonaldo. You absolute beast. We love to see it. Hope you're all good as always. Nice to see you in the stream, buddy. And then Cal's put, oh, if only England had something to play for, you'll all be going ballistic. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think you could say that's the same about the Republic of Ireland. You know, let's be real. If Ireland were playing in a big competition, then you would do the same, realistically speaking. I think any fan would, go ballistic if it was a big competition. But, I mean, the problem is with England fans is there's so many England fans that get too excited over small results against weak teams that it does look fairly embarrassing at points. But there's been another goal elsewhere, and I'll come back onto that point in a second. It really is not Russia's night tonight. They are being absolutely battered. It is now 3-0 to Serbia in their group. Dusan Vlahovic with the goal in that game. They're battering Russia right now. 3 goals in that game. Russia are being not necessarily humiliated, but really disappointing performance on their big night. Of course, they could have been promoted in their group. 3-0 to Serbia, which means that game between Hungary and Turkey means all the more importance going into the second half. And I mean, Kieran has just put, hope these teams here for the Russia score at half time, because it certainly could make that game a little bit more interested than it has been right now. Both teams still 0-0 in that match. But coming back to your point, I mean, it is one of those, as you said, where, if this was a major competitive game, although I'm going to have to stop for a second because a long ball's gone into Poulsen, good defending there from Alderweireld means we are going to get a Danish corner. But if this was a competitive game, like a World Cup match, then people would be going ballistic. And I think the only problem is with English fans is there are too many out there that get too excited over results like this and make them out as if we've beaten the world's greatest teams in football. But you like to have a bit of excitement here and there. But in terms of in what you're saying, I completely agree with you, Carl. I mean, there'll be a lot of fans going ballistic for it. Very ballistic indeed. But we've got a corner here for Denmark. Christian Eriksen's going to whip the ball into the box. Could be a great chance here for the Danes to take the lead in the last minutes of the first half. And the ball's come all the way down to Jonas Wind, just on the inside of the box. He tries to hit the shot on the volley, doesn't connect with the ball, and in the end, it's going to be cleared away and goes out of play. It does go out of play. It goes all the way to Schmeichel. But we are going to go over to the game between Israel and Scotland because there has been a goal. Remember tonight, both teams, it's such an important game for them. Israel, they have to go and win this match if they want to survive in their Nations League group. As for Scotland, they've got to win to get promoted. The question is, who's taking the lead, Will?
It's a goal for Israel, and it's an absolutely fantastic finish from Manor Solomon. Israel, I think it was a set piece from Scotland. They whip the ball in, but Israel break really, really well. Shona Weisman picks the ball up on the halfway line. He gets it to Zahavi, who then gets it to Solomon, and there's tons of space on the left-hand side. Solomon's one of them with McTominay. He gives him a little move. McTominay's gone, and Solomon puts it in the bottom corner of his left foot. Phenomenal finish into the bottom right-hand corner. And Israel take the lead 2 minutes before half-time.
Perfectly timed, isn't it, for Israel? Thank you very much, as always, Will. As it currently stands, Israel 1-0 up against Scotland. Of course, Scotland just a few days ago getting into the Euro 2020 courtesy of the playoffs. As it currently stands in that group, of course, both those sides really looking to push tonight to try and survive or get promoted. It now means that Israel would finish third on 8 points, which, of course, is all that they can do tonight. Scotland go into, well, they don't go into second. They stay in second place because currently the Czech Republic are winning, which means they would get promoted tonight. Scotland would stay in second, which would be a real shame for them because they were leading at the beginning of the night. But Czech Republic taking the lead means it's 1-0 in this game between Israel and Scotland, 1-0 between Czech Republic and Slovakia, which therefore means Czech Republic will be going up. But we are getting to half-time now across the board in these games. Half-time between Belgium and Denmark. It is 1-1 and it is evenly poised. Remember, this game tonight, it is winner takes all. If Belgium win or draw, they'll be going through to the UEFA Nations League knockout stages. If Denmark win, then it will be them who goes through to the knockout stages. And right now, I think Belgium will be a little bit frustrated that they haven't scored a few more goals in this game, which is a real shame for them indeed, of course. They've had a few good opportunities, but Denmark have had a few opportunities of their own in this game, very tightly poised indeed. It's half-time in the game between Hungary and Turkey. As Kieren perfectly said, I think both teams need to hear the news in the other game between Serbia and Russia, because Serbia are currently 3-0 up against Russia, which means whoever wins this game could finish at the top of their group and get promoted tonight. So hopefully the second half will be much better between these two sides, but it's 0-0 in that match. We've got 2 minutes of additional time in the game between Poland and Netherlands. And just as we had the goal in the game between Israel and Scotland, we are now at half-time in that match. Israel 1-0 up against Scotland. The Scots have some work to do if they want to get promoted. However, it is out of their hands with the Czech Republic currently winning. And well, Scotland have got to score 2 goals at the very least if they want to get back into this game and get themselves promoted. So we're getting now across the board around the games tonight towards half time. And I tell you what, if I was the Hungary and Turkey fans right now, and in fact, if I was the players on the pitch, you'd want to hear the news, because it's now Serbia 4, Russia 0 at half time. Another goal in that game from Luka Jovic. That's his 2nd goal of the match already. Means that Serbia are firing on all cylinders tonight. Russia will not finish top and be promoted, which means tonight, unless somehow Russia can score 5, which will definitely not happen. It'd be the greatest game there's ever been in international football, in terms of the Nations League, at the very least. Hungary and Turkey still 0-0. They've got to hear the news about that, because both teams certainly will want to play it out as if it's a cup final for potential promotion opportunities in the Nations League. So 4-0 in that match to Serbia. That is the game of the night so far. Plenty of opportunities in that match. Maybe for a few more goals for Serbia. Can they get 5, 6, 7 or 8? We'll have to find out indeed. But we are now at half-time in the game between the Polish and the Dutch. Poland 1-0 up as it currently stands in that match. We'll talk with the boys in a moment, of course, at half-time, and talk through the stats of each games. And then, of course, we'll have a look at the half-time scores across the board. But while we still have the game between England and Iceland going on, very quickly for you guys, just before we talk about everything that's going on, here's a quick look at some of the stuff still to come on the channel. So, of course, we've had our Matchday 6 Gold Show live. That's on today. That'll be done in just a little bit later on. Then you can see on the screen, Monaco taking on PSG. That's on Friday night. We've got a live watch along from 7:45, kickoff at 8 o'clock. And then Saturday, still got some games to be confirmed. Tottenham Hotspur and Man City got a live watch along from 5:15. And then straight after that, at 10 to 8, is the La Liga battle between Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. Should be a very good game indeed. Keep your eyes out for that. And then the Champions League is back, Groups E to H, on Tuesday, the 24th of November. We'll be doing our Matchday 4 Goal Show live from 7:45. And then the day afterwards, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Liverpool and Atalanta all facing off in matches in the Champions League. Once again, live at 7:45 with those Champions League goal shows. Should be very interesting indeed to see what happens across the board in the Champions League when it comes back, with 3 more match days still to be played. So let's have a quick look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. Of course, the England match is, I believe, still currently going on right now. No half-time from what I've seen so far in the chat, unless I've missed it, which I can't see it there, so we'll just, of course, see what's going on. But in the chat very quickly, Carl's put, Republic of Ireland really should be fighting for promotion. Wales, Bulgaria and Finland aren't great teams. We should be putting up a fight. I really worry about Ireland for the future. And I tell you what do you think about the manager, Stephen Kenny? Because I don't think he's really that good, to be honest. Being very, very poor indeed. But we are now at half-time of that game between England and Iceland. It is 2-0. And just to make sure, we're at half-time across all 14 games on the night. So without further ado, you can see on the bottom of your screen the scores as they currently stand across all 14 games tonight. Austria currently 0-0 against a Norwegian side that is completely different from the usual first team. Of course, the first team going into quarantine means they had to call up a completely different Norwegian side, but Austria drawing with them right now. Belgium 1, Denmark 1, being an interesting game indeed. Winner takes all in this match as it currently stands. Denmark are still well and truly in it, but a point would be enough for Belgium to go into the knockout stages of the competition. Bosnia 1-0 down to Italy. If Italy win tonight, then they'll be going through to the Nations League knockout stages, which is certainly an improvement on the Italian side we've seen over the last couple of years. Czech Republic 1-0 up in their game against Slovakia. Big result for the Czech Republic tonight. If they win, they will get promoted in their Nations League group. England 2-0 up against Iceland. It's a game that really means nothing in the complexion of things, but England certainly good performance tonight, 2-0 up against Iceland, who currently still sit in the Nations League with 0 points. Greece in a 0-0 draw with Slovenia, not much going on in that match so far, as is with Hungary and Turkey. Both teams really do need to look at the results, because they do have a chance, either of these two sides, to finish top of the group, which currently right now will be Hungary that finishes top with a 0-0 draw. Israel 1-0 up against Scotland. Israel, as it currently stands, will be staying in their Nations League group. They have to get at least a point or 3 on the board tonight, and they're doing exactly that. Manor Solomon with the goal in that game to, well, I would say break Scottish hearts, but I think they're more happy about the fact they're going to the Euros next year. Kosovo 1-0 up against Moldova. That was an early goal in that game in the first 20 minutes. Northern Ireland 0-0 against Romania. Remember, Northern Ireland already relegated from their Nations League group. Poland 1-0 up against the Netherlands. There was a flurry of opportunities early in that first half for the Netherlands, but they haven't been able to capitalise. We'll talk with Kieran D in a moment in terms of how that game has been going on. And the Republic of Ireland 0, Bulgaria 0, both those sides fighting for survival in their Nations League group. Remember, whoever loses gets relegated in that group, so no pressure on those sides tonight to go and get a victory. The biggest result of the night so far, Serbia 4-0 up against what was tabletop in Russia. Big result tonight means, unfortunately, they could still potentially see Serbia relegated, even after a 4-0 win against the top dogs, which is crazy to see indeed. And then, of course, Wales 1-0 up against Finland. Finland down to 10 men after 15 minutes. David Brooks with the goal in that game to open the scoring. You'd expect a few more goals in that match indeed. So that is half-time across the board in the Nations League, around the 14 games. I am just going to put 45 minutes on the clock for now. I usually put half-time, but there's so many games going on. I can't even put it in the 200-word cap, which is crazy. But looking at the comments very quickly, before we go around the board and talk about the games, Kaz put, I will always stand with my boys in green and sing my heart out, but I just want them to play a lot better. Also, we really need a goal scorer. And then Kaz put, I was excited. He did well with Dundalk in the 21s and couldn't wait to see how he did. But now I don't think he's the right man. It's just been very, I can't say much about it. Maybe a little bit too defensive in terms of performance. You, as you said, lacking a goal scorer, which is certainly something that Ireland need right now. And it's a shame for them indeed. But now, as I said, we're at half-time. We've got the 14 games all at half-time. Let's go around the board and talk about the games. We'll start off very quickly with the Belgium-Denmark match. As I said, winner takes all. Denmark staying in this game and doing very well indeed. I will give them credit. They've not had many chances at all, but neither of the Belgians. The Belgians have had 4 shots, 2 on target. Denmark have had 5 shots, 2 on target. Belgium having 55% possession to Denmark's 45. And, well, all they have to do is simply win this match tonight, Denmark, against the team that's ranked #1 in the world. And, well, a lot of pressure's on them right now, but they're doing a good job indeed, and they've still got 45 minutes to be able to go and get that winning goal. Remember, if Belgium get a point tonight, they will go up. If they win, they will go up. If Denmark win, then it will be Denmark who goes into that Nations League playoff in October 2021. So that is the game that's going on currently right now. Let's go to the game that's going on alongside it in the group for both of these teams tonight. Unfortunately, it is a case of it doesn't really mean much in the complexion of things. Iceland relegated, England will stay third. But overall tonight, Rowan, England 2-0 up in this match against Iceland. Yeah. Fairly good performance so far.
Yeah, I mean, it is Iceland and it is England. You expect them to win, but if you look at the individual performances, Phil Foden's having a great game. Same as Saka as well. The fullbacks in Trippier and Saka have been playing really well, which is really nice to see. Really pushing, just challenging on that right-hand side and left-hand side, putting them balls in for Harry Kane, Mason Mount, Phil Foden, Harry Maguire at some points has pushed all the way up to striker. Yeah, it's everything. The first goal, really nice. Phil Foden just swings it in. Declan Rice gets there, flicks it in. And then the second goal, Mason Mount just finds in the right place, right time, pokes it away. Typical, lovely little finish. I mean, nothing amazing, but consistency with the team and players, young players playing well is what we need.
Yeah, perfect performance so far. I'm looking at the stats right now, Rowan. 10 shots, 5 on target for England. As for Iceland, no shots, none on target. It's the possession that's really surprised me. 82% for England, 18% for Iceland. You can quite clearly see why Iceland are currently sat at the bottom of the group on 0 points. But a thoroughly professional performance from England tonight.
Yeah, Iceland had a little chance. The cross came in from Goodmanson, and Pickford came out. But he punched it. It looked like he was going to be some catch, but instead he punches it, and it goes to a massive dangerous area. No one goes to it, though. But yeah, clinical by England. Had to bounce back from that loss to Belgium and actually just beat Iceland. It should be what we expect, but it's simple.
Exactly. It sounds simple in the end, but of course we could beat them a few years ago in competitive competition. Beating them now 2-0. That's all that matters right now. England, of course, won't be able to go into the Nations League knockout stages, but they will finish third on 10 points, which isn't bad in the respect of things. No. But of course, still a little bit disappointed we've had the overall Nations League performance has gone. But thank you very much, Rowan, as always. 2-0 to England against Iceland. A lot of work for Iceland to do. They are about to finish on 0 points in their Nations League group, which is a real shame for them indeed. And as the group currently stands, I would get it up, but we'll kind of have a look a little bit later on. In fact, when we go back into the games, things will change across the night indeed. So we'll go on to the next game between Poland and Netherlands. As we said tonight, this game did mean a lot for both sides. Now, Poland, they can't go up tonight because of their head-to-head record against Italy. The Netherlands, however, can. And right now, Kieran, it is the Poland that are leading this game 1-0. Netherlands, they've had their fair share of chances tonight from what it sounds like early on in the game. but they just quite haven't been A, consistent enough in the game, and B, more importantly, they haven't been clinical enough, it sounds like.
No, they've been really poor, to say, of all the chances in possession that they've had. To be honest, they've been really, really poor, especially in front of goal, like you said. This Netherlands team just does not look anything like the Netherlands sides we're used to. Similar to Germany in a way, to be honest. But yeah, tonight Poland have been the better side. They've been up for it more, I think. They look more sharp, and obviously in front of goal, with the minimal chances they've had, they've got a goal and of course hit the post as well. And at the back, they've been pretty good as well, to be honest, with all the Netherlands chances that they've had. They've defended quite well. Memphis Depay's had a few chances inside the box, which Bednarek and Glick have defended well. But second half, of course, Netherlands need a big half, or I think Frank de Boer's job might be in question.
Certainly could be indeed, and he's only been in the job for a few months now, as I said before. Already 4 games without a win, which is certainly worrying indeed. And well, he's just a really shite manager. I mean, look at the stats right now. As you see across the board, Poland 5 shots, 2 on target. The Netherlands have had 8 shots, 3 on target. As you'd expect, the worst side, the Netherlands, having a little bit more possession, 56% to 44%. As you said, very astute performance from Poland tonight. Unfortunately, as I said, because Italy are winning right now, and they've got a worse head-to-head record than Italy against them. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean anything tonight for this Polish side. And it's quite disappointing, isn't it? Because we talked about them in the last game, how they looked a little bit lacklustre in front of goal. But is this a much better performance tonight, attacking-wise, for Poland?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Like I said, the minimal opportunities they've had, they've done quite well with. Of course, they weren't expecting to come here and dominate the game and have loads of chances on goal, of course. But what they have had, they've been very clinical. Of course, the shot there at the post was really unlucky, and the goal was really well taken by Jozwiak. I can see him getting more opportunities as Netherlands come forward and try to open the game up a little bit. There will be space behind for the likes of Jozwiak and Placetta to get in behind those Netherlands fullbacks, as they already are. Patrick Van Aanholt's getting shredded every single time. But yeah, hopefully we'll see a better second half from the Netherlands and a more competitive game in the second half.
Hopefully, indeed. Thank you very much, KD. As always, greatly appreciated. And, well, Poland, they probably never expected to finish second in their group. But as it currently stands, they will be if they can hold on to that result tonight against the Netherlands, as it stands 1-0 up in that match. Let's go over to the game between Israel and Scotland. As it currently stands, Israel winning that game tonight. It was quite clear for both sides. Scotland must win if they wanted to go up, as it's currently stands. Czech Republic leading their game 1-0, which means they would stay second. And for Israel, it was the other way around. They had to win if they wanted to survive. And well, Will, perfect performance from Israel so far. 1-0 up against Scotland, and looks like they could be surviving.
Yeah, it's a massive result if they can hold on. It was a very, very tight first half. Not many chances, but when the first big chance arrives for Israel and for Manor Solomon, they took it. So fair play to Israel. But I mean, I'm interested how Scotland reply in the second half, because they've looked very flat. And to me, it looks like they just don't really give a shit. I know it sounds like, I know they will obviously give a shit, but they look very, very flat, look very lackluster. They look like they were very happy to get into the Euros, and they don't really give a damn about this Nations League. But there's an opportunity to get promoted into League A. So if you're Scotland, you've got to come out and try and win the game. But I think Israel might just start putting 10 men behind the ball now, and maybe try and hold on for the win.
Exactly. I mean, it's a big opportunity. The competition might not be as serious in the respect of things, but for other clubs, as you said, Scotland, they could go into League A and play some of the biggest sides in Europe, which is always a positive. But look at the stats. Israel 4 shots, 1 on target. Scotland 7 shots, 3 on target. 47% possession for Scotland, 53 for Israel. They're doing exactly what they need to right now. Perfect performance from Israel so far. And well, if they can, of course, hold on to that result, they will be going and staying in the Nations League, which is fantastic for them, or else we could see relegation tonight. But thank you very much, Will, as always. Very greatly appreciated. We'll hope there's a few more goals in that game. He predicted last night that he'd get 3 goals in the second half. He was absolutely spot on. Hopefully, he can have something similar tonight once again. But let's go over to that last game. We spoke about these sides earlier. Serbia currently 4-0 up against Russia as the second halves have just kicked off now. Hungary and Turkey. You've surely got to think now, Kieran, that they've heard the news at half-time that Serbia are battering Russia, and you would expect both of these teams to push forward.
Well, you say this, I think I actually take it back, because a draw is the perfect result for both teams. Turkey stay up and Hungary go top of the group. The only thing is, Turkey could technically win the whole thing, but it depends. It always harks back to how much do the teams care, whether they either stay up or get promoted. It's up to the mentality of the team. But a draw, all in all, works perfectly for both sides because Serbia are winning, but they can't catch Turkey, and Hungary are drawing because Russia are losing. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, really. I'm not sure how it's going to go. I hope the mentality is to go out and win the game.
Hopefully so. I mean, it currently stands right now 0-0 across second half to start. Just look at the stats of the game to see how that first half has been. Hungary, 3 shots 1 on target. Turkey, 3 shots 3 on target. Hungary with 55% possession, Turkey's 45%. As you would expect, as you said, a point does both teams' favours. But surely one of these teams has to look maybe Hungary a little bit more than Turkey and say, well, we're at home tonight. We've got a really good opportunity here to go out and get what would be a massive victory and potentially promotion into the Nations League, into League B.
Well, they have made 2 changes at half-time. So maybe that is either with resting players or it might be, let's go out and win this game, foot on the throat, relentless. Let's go up. But we'll have to see in the second half because for me, if you're Turkey, you were sitting 3rd at the start of the night. You could literally finish top after, being the most unlikely of the 3. So for them, I think it'd mean a lot to them as well. But we'll have to see in the second half. The stats don't do it justice. It was quite enjoyable to watch, bar the no goals, of course.
Certainly has been an interesting game indeed, and hopefully it's a little bit more interesting with the news of what's going on in Serbia. But as it currently stands, Hungary 0, Turkey 0. Thank you very much, Kieran, as always, as we have got underway with some of the games in the second half. Belgium, Denmark is about 2 or 3 minutes in. Some of the games still at half time, of course, depending on the amount of additional time we've had. And we've had a nice early chance in Will's game, of course, Israel taking on Scotland. As it currently stands, Israel 1-0 up in this game. Scotland, they've got to go out there and win. The question is, who's had that first chance of the second half? Will?
Chance for Israel, and they've started the second half really brightly here, the team in blue. It comes from Eli Dasser, the right back, who is in the 3 games that he's played Scotland these last few months. He's been absolutely fantastic bombing forward. His crossing ability is really, really good. He picks up the ball on the right-hand side. He plays a lovely little pass to man on Solomon. Solomon just sort of back heels it in towards Zahavi, and Zahavi hits it on the swivel, right-footed. It looks like it's going to swerve into the corner. It just goes wide of the post. It would have been a fantastic goal, but just went wide, and it's still only 1-0 Israel, but a very positive start.
Very positive start indeed for Israel. Thank you very much as always, Will. Israel currently still 1-0 up against Scotland in that match. Been a few nice, few chances in that game. Wouldn't say there's been many chances in terms of big opportunities, but Israel making the most of that home advantage and making the most of the fact that they need to get the points across on the board tonight against Scotland. Can they do it though with 45 minutes left of action? We will have to find out indeed. There has been a change at half-time in the Polish game between Poland and Netherlands. Piatek has come on. Robert Lewandowski has come off. Which is an interesting sub. Of course, I assume in this situation, it's a case of resting Lewandowski now. And there's also been a change in the game between England and Iceland. Hal Dawson, the goalkeeper, has come in goal in that game between England and Iceland. So a goalkeeper change in that match, which is an interesting shout. I would assume doing something very similar to what England did, playing 2 goalkeepers over 2 halves and just giving a few of the extra players a bit more time to play. But Hal Dawson's come in goal. So there's a few changes across the board. We should now be underway in the majority of tonight's Nations League fixtures. Remember, there are 14 different games going on tonight, and we've had another goal elsewhere in one of tonight's fixtures. And Wales, as I said earlier, were currently 1-0 up against Finland. Finland down to 10 men early on in that match. They've just doubled their advantage against Finland. They're now 2-0 up. First minute of the second half, Daniel James with the goal in that game, the Manchester United winger, has got an international goal to his name. It's Wales 2, Finland 0. Certainly disappointing tonight for Finland with that red card, because it does mean that Wales will finish top of their group and they will get promoted into the next section of the group as well. And KD has just put in the private chat, he's a Man U fan, fuck off, Daniel James has actually scored. He has indeed, Kieran, he's actually scored a goal, which is unbelievable. Man U fans probably in absolute shock right now that Daniel James has been able to put the ball into the back of the net. But we're underway, 14 games going on tonight across the board as we reach the 50th minute of tonight's match. We've got a free kick here for Denmark. It's about 35 yards out from goal, and Christian Eriksen is standing over it. Can he put this into the back of the net? I assume he's going to probably lob it into the box rather than hit it. In fact, he goes for goal, and well, it's an awful chance, goes straight into the hands of Thibaut Courtois. A real waste of an opportunity. But there has been a chance early on in the game between Poland and Netherlands. We talked about a substitution earlier, Lewandowski coming off for Krzysztof Piatek. The question is, has the early substitution influenced this game, or is it a Netherlands chance, Kieren?
Well, Josh, what did I say at half-time? There will be gaps for Poland to counter. And that is exactly what they've done 2 minutes into the second half. It was Piatek who actually found himself behind the line, played it along to Click, who played it along to Plaqueta, who was in acres of space in the box, but he just takes it too quickly. He's about 5 yards out from goal and absolutely slices it off his foot wide. It should be 2-0. Glorious chance missed by Plaqueta, and Poland could brew that.
Really big chance indeed. They could rue it for sure. Poland 1-0 up against Netherlands. Thank you, KD. As always, big opportunity for Poland to finish second in the group with that victory against the Netherlands. Netherlands have had a poor run of form recently. Frank de Boer has got a lot of work to do if he wants to stay on as the Netherlands manager after only being in charge for around 5 or 6 games, which is crazy to say. It's pretty much the international version of Crystal Palace. He was awful when he was there. But we already went out all the 14 games in the second half as it currently stands. We're about 50 minutes into this match between Belgium and Denmark. Still currently 1-1 in this game. And as you can see, Austria still 0-0 against Norway. Belgium 1 against Denmark, 1-1 against Denmark even. Italy still 1-0 up against Bosnia, which is the important game tonight in that group alongside Poland and Netherlands. Czech Republic 1-0 up against Slovakia. England 2-0 up against Iceland. Greece 0-0 against Slovenia. Hungary 0, Turkey 0, Israel 1, Scotland 0, Kosovo 1-0 against Moldova, Northern Ireland drawing with Romania, Poland 1-0 up against Netherlands, Republic of Ireland also drawing in their game against Bulgaria, 4-0 to Serbia on the night against Russia, which is the big result of the night so far, and then Wales 2-0 to the good against Finland. As Belgium look to spray on forward here, there's been no changes in the second half so far. There's a big chance here for Belgium to come forward, and it's a ball that's laid off to Dries Mertens, lobs the ball into the box towards Lukaku, doesn't get to him in the end, and Delaney's eventually hoofing the ball out of the box. Big chance there for Lukaku, who has certainly been quiet tonight, but he's had a few little opportunities where you think he could make maybe a little bit better of them and had a goal or two, but he's certainly been Belgium's most informed player, you have to say, over the last couple of weeks. He just seems to be scoring non-stop right now. And well, question is, can he score tonight? Or will we see a goal this game from him yet again? Because, of course, he didn't score in that previous match against England. But he's been on fire anyway on the international stage. But we're about 55 minutes into the matches right now. And, Belgium just having a bit of a spell in the defensive half of the pitch right now. They don't have to have a sense of urgency in this game to go forward, necessarily speaking. But they also need to make sure that Denmark don't see any ways of getting back into the match, because of course if Denmark do win the game, then they will be going into the Nations League knockout stages. But we're just going to see there has been a few substitutions in the game between Hungary and Turkey. It's Hungary making the substitutions. Kieran now putting in the subs at half-time with Kalmar and Kilves off, Seri and Varga on, and that sub, which is Serias, is already been booked in the match. He's probably been on the pitch for about, in fact, 3 minutes, which is certainly not a good start indeed going into the books. So a few changes in that match. Remember tonight, Hungary 0, Turkey 0 would actually work out in favours for both sides. Although Turkey, who started the day in 3rd place, could still finish at the top of the group tonight. But we've got a corner here for the Danes. Big opportunity. Sorry, for the Belgians. Big opportunity. Kevin De Bruyne is going to lob the ball into the box. Tries to get it towards Jason Denayer, but it doesn't come into him in the end. The referee is going to give a free kick to the Belgians. Kevin De Bruyne going down in the box. But we're all going to go over to Kieren now, because there's been a chance in this game between Hungary and Turkey. Of course, we're expecting this to be a little bit more attacking in this second half as both teams try and push for the winning goal that they'll put them at the top of the group. The question is, who's had that first chance in the second half, Kieren?
It was Turkey, and it was nice build up down the left-hand side before a cross from Kanarurkan reached Cenk Tosun. His touch was poor, but it ricocheted back to him. He got it out his feet. His shot was blocked, and then Tufan ran on to the blocked shot from the edge of the box, but he flashed it over the bar. And Yusuf Yazici, it looks like he's about to enter play, and we know how good he is, Josh.
Certainly a very good player indeed. The question is, can he be the hero for Turkey tonight? We'll have to find out. Thank you very much, Kieran, as always. Hungary 0, Turkey 0, as he currently stands in that match, as we have that free kick for the Belgians, which is about to be lobbed into the box by Dries Mertens. He's not going to hit this. He lobs it into the box towards Denayer. It's hit with just a little bit too much power, and eventually it goes over the players, past the goalkeeper, and out of play for a goal kick. Let's go and have a look here, because KD said there's a dangerous free kick in his game between Poland and Netherlands. Let's find out what happens. What's with the free kick here?
Right on the left-hand side of the box. It's Memphis Depay. Calvin Stein's over it. It's a good place for Memphis Depay to shoot from. I can see him shooting from here. You know what he's like. yeah, literally right on the corner of the box, pretty much on the left-hand side. Is Memphis Depay stood over it? He is going to hit it. It's floating, and it's touched behind by Hatiboa. Oh, glorious chance again for Netherlands, but it's just squandered yet again.
Big chance indeed. Thank you very much, as always, Kieran. We've had a goal in the game between Belgium and Denmark, and I said about Romelu Lukaku, he hadn't scored in this game so far. Well, now he has, and well, it was a lovely one-on-one opportunity with Kasper Schmeichel. The ball originally actually came from, it looked like it was a free kick that was given by the referee. It was a quick free kick that was taken, really well-worked quick free kick. De Bruyne lays the ball off to Lukaku, who's one-on-one with Schmeichel. Schmeichel makes a very, very good save, but unfortunately, his save actually parries the ball towards goal. It looks like the ball's about to be cleared off the line, but in the end, Christiansen's flick on smashes it into the back of the net. It probably will count as a Lukaku goal because the shot was going on target anyway and going into the back of the net. And I think it will be a Lukaku goal, but 2-1 to Belgium. Big goal on the night, and that could seal Belgium going to the top of the Nations League. Well, they are top of the Nations League, but going through into the knockout stages either way. Very unlucky there for Denmark. They've got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into this match indeed. But we're going to go over to Kieren because that's been a goal in his game between Hungary and Turkey. Remember, tonight it was an important game, this one, because either side can finish top of the group after Serbia are currently beating Russia 4-0. The question is, who's taking the lead? Kieren?
It's Hungary, and this has massive implications because Turkey now sit bottom. They'll be relegated at this rate, I'm pretty sure. It's a lovely goal by Hungary. Initially, it was a wonderful save. The ball is through ball to Nikolic, who squares it to Varga, the substitute. He hits it across goal. It's a wonderful save by the Turkish goalkeeper onto the post. But unfortunately, it rebounds straight into the path of David Seeger, who slides it into an empty net. But a wonderful save by the goalkeeper, but it doesn't stop it being 1-0. And I'm pretty sure Turkey dropped bottom.
Just have a look at the group right now. In fact, let me just very quickly take this off the screen. There we go. And we can have a look at how the group stands. With that goal, as it currently stands, it means Turkey dropped to bottom of the group. Of course, Serbia winning 4-0 right now, which is a dominant performance. And, well, look at how tight that group is. Turkey, probably thought tonight that they were going to be safe and all right. But now they sit bottom. A lot of work for them to do, isn't there, Kieran?
Well, this will open it up. We said a point was perfect for both teams, but now the context of the point is out of the way. Turkey have got to come out because they know the result in Serbia at the moment, and barring a miracle, Serbia look like they may survive. So Turkey have got to come out of the shell in this second half, but it'll leave gaps for Hungary as they come forward. Cesare is free on the right. He's got Varga through the middle. He finds him. Brilliant block by Ozan Kabak. This game is opening up.
Thank you very much, Kieran. As always, very greatly appreciated. We've had a few more goals across the board tonight. In some of the games, the Czech Republic are now 2-0 up against Slovakia, which is big, of course, because Scotland will stay second as it currently stands. Zdeněk Odrasek with the goal in that game means it's 2-0 to the Czech Republic. And we've also had a goal elsewhere. Northern Ireland are 1-0 up against Romania. Liam Boyce with the goal in that match, which is certainly a big positive for Northern Ireland. See Kieran celebrating at the bottom of my screen. 1-0 to Northern Ireland against Romania. But we are going to go over now because there's been a red card in the game between England and Iceland. The question is, are England down to 10 men? Or is it Iceland? Rowan?
It's Iceland. It's Harry Kane and Saka linking up. Kane plays through Saka, and Saka's shirt's pulled just outside the box. Saka goes down. Surveillance sent off. I didn't realise he got sent off. I just looked and I saw he was walking off the pitch. So it must have been a quick decision. The free kick comes through. I think Eric Dyer just hits it straight into the wall. But yes, it's going to be a lot harder for Iceland now. They were 2-0 down, and now they are down to 10 men.
Could be a very long night indeed for the last 40 minutes of action, Rowan.
The thing is, the second half, they've actually defended well, nothing much. But yeah, that red card is definitely going to hinder them for sure.
It is indeed. Thank you very much, as always, Rowan. Greatly appreciated. England 2-0 up against Iceland. Iceland now down to 10 men. It looks like they're going to finish the group on 0 points. And, of course, they've got half an hour left of that match to play. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 35 minutes of action left to play with 10 men on the pitch. We are going to have a look at a substitute happened in the game between Poland and Netherlands. Denzel Dumfries has come on in that match. Hatiboa coming off. And then Kieran did put in the chat earlier, there was that change for Turkey. Kaveci came off. Yazici came onto the pitch. There was a change before Turkey conceded that goal. But as it currently stands now, with Hungary 1-0 up against Turkey, Turkey will finish bottom of their group and be relegated, which is something that I don't think they would have expected at the start of the day. But let's go back to this Belgium game, because it's gone fairly quiet now. Maybe Denmark will be a little bit frustrated with how that goal has gone in. They've now got to score 2 goals in this match if they want to go into the Nations League knockout stages. And, well, the number 1 ranked team in the world looks like it is going to finish top of the group. And Carl's asked in the chat, do you know who will play in the semis once Group A is done and dusted? And now I don't necessarily know who's facing who, but we will know the top 4 that are going to be facing off against each other in the competition. As it currently stands right now, Italy, Belgium, France and Spain will be the 4 sides facing off against each other. Now, last year we had England, Portugal, Netherlands, and we had someone else. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. I think Portugal, Netherlands, England, and somebody else. I can't remember. Switzerland, that was the one. Switzerland played in it. So if you look at the team overall, and the 4 teams in this competition next year, it's quite a heavily stacked Nations League knockout tournament, which will make for great viewing, because by that point when we watch these sides play off in October, we'll have had the Euros. So we'll know what some of these sides are going to be like. Will we see a new, rejuvenated Spain side? Will France be the champions at the Euros? Will Belgium still be the number 1 ranked team? I assume whoever wins the Euros will go ahead of Belgium, of course, due to the international rankings. Or will we see Italy do well? I mean, there's some great games on the board. Even if we see Italy, Spain, Belgium, France, great games. France, Italy, Belgium, Spain, great games. There's just some, either way, 4 matches. 2 matches, that'll be very good indeed. And obviously, then we've got the final where we get another 2 really good games indeed. And, well, if it stays like this, we'll definitely be covering that tournament, and it takes place in October time indeed. But let's go over to KD, because there's been another dangerous free kick that's been given in the game between Poland and Netherlands. The question is, who's at that free kick, Kieran?
Well, I don't know if you remember, Josh, but the other night when Krakowiak played and he got the yellow card, he committed 2 or 3 fouls after. And he's done the exact same thing here. And I'm not quite sure why he's not been sent off. This one is a little bit further out from Memphis Depay. It's about 30 yards out. He does play it short to Calvin Stengs, though. I feel like I've just wasted your time here. It is ball in and it's cleared for a corner. I apologise for that. I thought he was going to have a shot.
It's all right. It's a shame there, but it still stays 1-0 to Poland as it currently stands. Was a dangerous free kick, but it was wasted there. But what hasn't been wasted is that Norwegian team tonight. You can see at the bottom of your screen, they're 1-0 up against Austria. And, well, if you don't know the situation at hand right now, it's a completely different Norwegian side. They had to change their team up because some of the players in their squad contracted COVID. The rest of the squad, of course, then had to go out there and, of course, quarantine themselves. But they're currently 1-0 up tonight in their game against Austria. It's Zahid with the goal, which is certainly fantastic for this team because, well, these players will have probably never played with each other before. And what it actually means for the group as it currently stands is, unfortunately for Norway, they stay second on 12 points head-to-head wise against Austria, losing out, which is a real shame for them indeed. But they're up right now 1-0. I think the players on the pitch will just be delighted for the fact that they've played for their national team. And, of course, they're currently 1-0 up against Austria, which is certainly big indeed. But we've got a change in the game between Hungary and Turkey. Nikolic has come off. Grisko has come on. So some changes in that game. Of course, Hungary, as it currently stands, 1-0 up against Turkey in that match. So plenty of action going on across the board tonight. Let's have a quick look at the scores as they currently stand as we head towards the 65th minute of the 14 games tonight. As it currently stands, Austria 1-0 down to that Norwegian team that's been completely changed because of COVID-19. Belgium 2-1 up against Denmark. As it currently stands, Belgium will go into that Nations League knockout stage in October next year. Bosnia 1-0 down to Italy, which means that they will also go into the knockout stages in 2021. Czech Republic 2-0 up against Slovakia, which means Czech Republic will get promoted tonight in the Nations League if they can hold on to that result. England 2-0 up against Iceland, but Iceland down to 10 men with half an hour left to go. Of course, that doesn't really mean anything tonight, the complexion of the group, but a good performance for England either way. Greece still 0-0 against Slovenia. Hungary 1-0 up against Turkey. If Hungary win tonight, they will go to the top of the group and get promoted. Israel 1-0 up against Scotland. If Israel win tonight, they will be surviving in the Nations League and not being relegated down to League C. Scotland had to win tonight Looks like they're not going to go up, though, because Czech Republic are winning 2-0, of course. Kosovo 1-0 up against Moldova. Northern Ireland 1-0 up against Romania. Poland 1-0 up against the Dutch right now. The Republic of Ireland still 0-0 against Bulgaria, which is certainly a bit of a frustrating performance tonight for the Republic of Irish fans. They'll be disappointed with that one. Of course, both those sides fighting for survival in the Nations League group. Biggest result of the night so far, Serbia 4-0 up against Russia. All 4 of those goals were scored in the first half of action, which is certainly surprising indeed. And then Wales 2-0 up against Finland. Finland were down to 10 men after 15 minutes on the clock, which is certainly a very poor performance from the Finnish side indeed. But what can you do when you're down to 10 men after 15 minutes? But Carly's put my hope, Italy, Spain, Belgium, France. Then Spain versus Belgium with Spain winning it. He's hoping. Now, there'll be a lot of people which will probably then watch that tournament in 2021 and say, oh, it's really good, I've enjoyed it, but they probably didn't watch the rest of it. And there's been some good games on. I mean, if you look at the 6 match days, there's been some really, really enjoyable games across the board. Turkey-Russia was a standout match. I think that Spain-Germany game tops them all as the best game of the Nations League this year. Germany-Switzerland as well, that was up there with a free draw. There's been some great games in this tournament, but if we've got 4 big teams like that in the knockout stages, we'll definitely be covering it live next year. But it also makes for just a really enjoyable Nations League knockout tournament at the end of the year. But let's go over to Kieran D, because there has been a chance in his game between Poland and Netherlands. Remember, Poland 1-0 up. They will finish second as it currently stands. But the question is, who's that chance, Kieran?
Well, Poland have Lucas Fabianski to thank that they are not level in this game, because it's an absolutely outstanding save. Memphis Depay receives it from Van Aanholt. He jinks inside onto his right foot, goes to set out a curler into that corner. Typical Memphis Depay. And a fingertip save from Lucas Fabianski to deny him from scoring. A great save on the night from the Poland. Netherlands really, really starting to dominate this game. Poland barely getting out of their own half.
A lot of pressure on them now. Thank you very much, as always, KD. Poland looking to hold on to what would be a massive 1-0 victory for them. They can't get promoted tonight, but either way, they will be delighted at the fact that they've got a big win against this really struggling Netherlands side right now, but they're currently 1-0 up. Netherlands really putting the pressure on them with about 20 minutes left of action. There's been a change in the England-Iceland game. Jolfsson has come on in that match for Sigurd Johnson. And then England have also made a few changes of their own. Harry Winks and Tyrone Mings have come onto the pitch. Mason Mount and Kyle Walker coming off in that match. The 2 changes there for England with about 25 minutes of action left in their game. And we've had another goal elsewhere tonight. In fact, we've had 2 goals elsewhere from what I've just seen on the pitch. And, well, I'm going to have to stop for a second because we've had a goal in this match between Belgium and Denmark. It's done and dusted. Belgium will be going through to the Nations League knockout stages. It's 3-1 to the Belgians. And we said earlier, Lukaku hadn't scored any. He's scored 2 now. It's a lovely, lovely header from the Belgian forward. And not much Schmeichel can do about it. And it's a fantastic goal. Lukaku has 2. Belgium had 3. And that should surely be that in terms of this Nations League fixture between these 2 sides. Remember, of course, tonight, it was a case of if the Danes could win this match, then they would have, of course, gone through into the Nations League knockout stage. But it'll be Belgium who will be going through, and Lukaku delivering the goods as he usually does for this Belgian national team. He's such a fantastic player on his day and a very underrated striker indeed. But we've had plenty of goals across the board while that goal has gone in. Of course, Belgium 3-1 up against Denmark. Talking about a game that has certainly changed up a bit. We were talking about Wales and Finland earlier. Finland are back in the game. It's 2-1. They're down to 10 men, but they're not giving up tonight because Teemu Pukki has just scored for the Finnish side on the 63rd minute, which means there's still 20 minutes left for them. If they can win this game tonight, I believe they will finish top of the group. But Wales, as it currently stands, have that extra man advantage with 20 minutes left of the game. Russia, they're getting battered even further now. It's 5-0 to Serbia. They're continuing on their scoring run. Filip Mladenovic with the goal in that game in the 64th minute. 5-0 right now in that match. Russia, really disappointing performance tonight in their Nations League group. They could have finished top, but they've absolutely bottled it. Really poor performance indeed. And then we've had another goal in the game between Bosnia and Italy. It's now 2-0 to Italy in that match. It also means that that should surely seal Italy's fate as being the second side that'll be confirmed in tonight's fixtures to go through to the Nations League knockout stages. Andrea Belotti scoring the first goal in the match. Then just a few moments ago. It was Domenico Berardi, former Juventus winger at Sassuolo, who scored the second goal of the match. 2-0 to Italy, and we should have our 4 teams pretty much confirmed now on the night, unless Denmark somehow score 3 goals in quick concession. I highly doubt it. I was wanting the word succession there, not concession. Couldn't think of the word off the top of my head, but going back to that goal there, Belgium-Denmark, 3-1 to the Belgians. Lukaku, just a great header overall. He's such a good player on his day. And the real question is he a very underrated striker? Because I think he is very underappreciated indeed. He's probably one of the most informed strikers in European football right now. And I guess you could say probably the most informed striker on the international stage, at the very least. As Belgium come forward here once again, he's on for his hat-trick now, which the ball isn't spread to him in the end, and it looks like this attack for the Belgians isn't going to come to anything. But we're going to go over to the Hungary-Turkey game. There's been a few substitutes in that match, specifically for Turkey, because Cenk Tosun and Ozan Tufan have both come off. Deniz Turk and Özkan have come onto the pitch. So 2 changes there with about 20 minutes left of action. Remember tonight, Turkey have to go out there and win the match if they want to get promoted. If they draw or lose, Hungary win. If they draw, I believe they still get. They will survive. If they lose, they are relegated. So every result now really does mean something for Turkey, and every goal is going to mean a hell of a lot in the complexion of the group if they can get an equaliser or even win the match. But we've got 14 games still going on across the board in the Nations League tonight, and we are going to have a change here in this Belgium game. And coming onto the pitch in a few minutes, it looks like Thomas Fouquet, the Belgian right back from Stade de Reims, is going to be coming onto the pitch with about 18 minutes to go. So we'll have to see what happens there. But let's go over to KD, because there has been a chance in his game between the Polish and the Netherlands. The real question is, who's had that chance? Kieran D.
I really don't understand how the Netherlands haven't scored. They're trying to walk it into the net. Calvin Stengs plays the ball over. Jorginho Wijnaldum is literally next to the goal. All he has to do is head it in. He decides to head it back across goal for Memphis Depay, who heads it onto the crossbar, comes back off the crossbar to David Klaassen, who goes for the overhead kick, and he is offside. I can't believe Jorginho Wijnaldum doesn't just head the ball into the back of the net anyway. It's poor. They've been poor all night, to be fair, and they are making a few changes. I think Bergwijs and Donny van der Beek are both coming on.
Very poor indeed tonight from the Netherlands, as always. Thank you very much, Katie. Greatly appreciated. For the update on that game, still Poland 1, Netherlands 0. Fouquet coming onto the pitch in just a moment's time for the Belgians. However, let's go to the game between Hungary and Turkey, because Kieren is covering that game. As I said a moment ago, every goal is vital in this match. Turkey, if they score a goal in this match and equalise, they will not be relegated. If they lose, they will be relegated. If they win, they will finish top of the group. That game means everything to the Turks right now. They've had a chance, but is it for Turkey or is it Hungary's, Kieran?
It was Turkey, and my lord, was it a massive chance. The ball was drilled into the box, and it was cleared originally by the Hungarians, but it went to Kalinoglu, and he reflexes, hit a flying karate kick-esque shot, which was saved by Debush, but then it went straight onto the volley of Yazici, who volleyed it in. It's a brilliant block by the chest of Nigo, who's had a very good game, both attacking and defending, as he just takes a shot. Really big chance for Turkey. 15 minutes to save their Nations League status.
15 minutes indeed. Time is running out for the Turks away from home tonight against Hungary as it currently stands. It's Hungary 1, Turkey 0. Thank you very much, as always, Kieran. Very greatly appreciate that. It's certainly one to keep our eyes out on with 15 minutes left. Can Turkey get a goal back? It's vital now that they get a goal back within the next 5 minutes if they want to try and win the group, which is crazy because they were they could be potentially 10 minutes away from winning the group or 10 minutes away from relegation. It's a really tight group, that one, indeed. And then, as Kieran D said a moment ago, we've got some changes in that match for both sides between Poland and Netherlands. First of all, the Dutch make a few changes. Bergwijs and Calvin Stengs have both come on. Bergwijs has come on, Calvin Stengs has come off. And then Donny van der Beek has come on for David Klaassen in midfield. And then as for Poland, Moda and Linetti have come on, Krychowiak and Zielinski coming off the pitch in that game. So a few changes in that match with about 15 minutes left. And we've got another change here in the game between Belgium and Denmark. Yusuf Poulsen, he's coming off the pitch, and Anderson is coming on with about 15 minutes left to go of this game. Not really seen much of Poulsen tonight. Had one or two little opportunities here and there, but he's been fairly quiet on the pitch. So on comes Anderson. I think now pretty much Denmark know that they'd have to score 3 goals in this game if they wanted to get promoted, if they wanted to go into the knockout stages, and it's probably not going to happen indeed. And well, the Belgians looking a bit more reassured now. They're going to bring on Thomas Fouquet. He comes onto the pitch. Thorgan Hazard comes off. So a bit of a defensive change, trying to reassure that back line with 14 minutes to go. As you would expect, of course, maybe we might see Denmark push a few more numbers forward as they try to get a goal back in this game. And well, it'd be a very unlikely comeback, but spur one on with 14 minutes left at the very least. As we get into the final 15 minutes of international football action, not just in the Nations League, but just in general. This is it. No more action after this in international football until March time next year. Of course, depending on what happens with the COVID pandemic, we'll have to find out indeed. But I think a lot of fans out there who'll be very appreciative of the fact that international football isn't going to be on for a few more months. Of course, we won't have that international break. It's just club football all the way through the winter period. And of course, we've got plenty more club football to come on the channel, because don't forget, Friday night, we're going to be live from 7:45 for AS Monaco versus PSG. That's our first live Ligue 1 watch-along of the season. Should be a very interesting game to keep our eyes out on indeed. But got a chance to give the Danes. They're coming forward with 13 minutes left of the match, and they're going to have a corner here. The ref pointing to the corner flag. Christian Eriksen trying to ping a ball into the box that was deflected. Going to play here for a corner. If they can get a goal back here with about 13 minutes left of play, who says that they couldn't try and get back into this match? They'd need 3 goals, of course, to win it. But you never know. We've seen crazy comebacks before, but this needs to go into the back of the net. And well, Christian Eriksen's resulting corner was awful. Didn't go into the box, but it's come back to him again. It's a lovely ball this time into the substitute Anderson, who tries to lay the ball off to Christian Eriksen. Doesn't get to him in the end, and eventually it is cleared away. But we've got a yellow card as well in the game between Hungary and Turkey. Debouche has got a yellow card in that match, the goalkeeper for Hungary. So he's got to watch out, of course. I'm guessing maybe time wasting in that situation, the match, which Kieran's giving the thumbs up, is time wasting in that game. So Hungary looking to hold on to that victory and frustrate Turkey with about 13 minutes left of action. And I have to say, as I said a moment ago, that was a really, really poor corner that was whipped in there by Christian Eriksen. They need to try and get a goal back in this game, but as it currently stands, 12 minutes of action left in this game between the Belgians and the Danes. There'll probably be about 15 minutes left across the board in the rest of the matches tonight. If you are new, as always, and you have enjoyed the goal show so far, do leave a like and a subscription. It's very greatly appreciated as we push towards 1,300 subscribers. We've had a change, though, in the Polish-Netherlands game. Kamil Grzycki coming onto the pitch, Placeta off with about 10 minutes to go. Of course, Poland leading that game. But we've got some scores to look at, of course. 10 minutes left of action in the Nations League as it currently stands. Norway still 1-0 up against Austria tonight. It's a completely changed Norwegian side due to COVID-19 within the first squad. Belgium 3, Denmark 1. Italy 2-0 up against the Bosnians. Czech Republic 2-0 up against Slovakia. England 2-0 up against Iceland. Greece 0, Slovenia 0. Hungary 1, Turkey 0. Israel 1-0 up against Scotland still. Kosovo 1-0 up against Moldova. Northern Ireland 1-0 up against Romania. Poland 1-0 up against Netherlands. Republic of Ireland still drawing 0-0 against Bulgaria right now, which would be a poor result for them. Serbia, performance of the night, 5-0 against Russia. And Wales 2, Finland 1. Finland down to 10 men. And Iceland also down to 10 men in their game against England. But we're going to go to KD because there has been a penalty that's been given in this game between Poland and Netherlands. Is it a chance for an equaliser, Kieran?
It is, and it's such a soft penalty to give. I'm not going to lie. It's just 2 people fighting for the ball in the box, and I think Wijnaldum has felt the pressure, of course, of Bednarek behind him, and he has gone down. But that's what you've got to do to get your side back into this game, and Memphis Depay now has the opportunity to do just that for Netherlands. He is obviously very cool from the spot. Memphis Depay against Fabianski. Let's see if he can equalise for Netherlands. Whenever you're ready, Memphis.
Big chance.
He stood there. He's been stood there for ages. Just hit the ball. Right, here we go. Memphis Depay scores high into the top left-hand corner and equalises for the Netherlands. And of course, he does the celebration with the fingers in the air. you've been shit tonight, but it's 1-1.
Thank you very much, as always, Kieran D. Netherlands getting back into the game. Not the most confident performance tonight in the Nations League, but they're currently 1-1 in that match. As it currently stands, Netherlands, of course, trying to see if they can get a win at Poland. A little bit frustrated, maybe, with the fact that they conceded late on, but there's still 10 minutes left. Can Netherlands maybe nick a goal in that match and steal a victory, which they so desperately need just for their form right now? But there has been a few changes in the England-Iceland game. Rowan put in the chat, there's a few changes for Iceland, Sigthorsson and Forsteinsen coming on for Bodvarsson and Gudmundsson. And then England have brought on Sancho and Tammy Abraham, Grealish and Kane coming off in that match with about 10 minutes left of action in those games. Of course, be interesting to see if any more goals going in that match. England 2-0 up against Iceland. Of course, Iceland down to 10 men in that game. But Denmark coming forward here. And I have to say, they've had a few opportunities on goal. There was a bicycle kick effort from Martin Braithwaite that Courtois had to make a really good save for. It was a powerful bicycle kick effort. And, well, it would have been a great goal if it went in. Probably wouldn't have meant much, of course, because Denmark need to score 3. But would have been a great goal for a player, of course, who is currently an outcast at Barcelona. You could say why he went there in the first place. I've got no idea. But, of course, Barca were desperate to sign someone. And are you really ever going to turn down Barcelona? Don't think anyone would in this day and age. But they've had a few chances to come back and at least get a goal in this match. And as I said, if you can make it 3-2 with a few minutes left of action, there's 8 minutes left. There's probably 1 or 2 minutes of additional time. You never know. It could happen. It'd be very, very unlikely indeed that a Belgian side like this would kind of collapse with 10 minutes left and concede 3. But we've seen stranger things in the world of football. I just can't see it happening. And Denmark need to get that second goal anyway if they want to have any chance of getting back into this match. But it's still 3-1 as it currently stands as they try to push forward in this game and get a goal that will make things just a little bit more different and a little bit more exciting in that match. But there's been a few yellow cards going around in that game between Poland and Netherlands. A bit of frustration maybe for the Polish right now because Josviak and Bednarek both going into the book with a yellow card, both in quick succession, actually. So 2 yellow cards there late on for the Polish yes, for the Polish players on the pitch tonight. 2 players going to book in quick succession. Still 1-1 against the Netherlands, which would be a fairly good result for them tonight, although the Netherlands have been certainly struggling right now. But we've had a goal elsewhere in one of the games tonight that we are keeping our eyes out on. And, well, we saw him celebrate earlier that Northern Ireland had taken the lead. We aren't going to see him celebrate now because Romania have got an equaliser back in that game. Northern Ireland won. Romania won in that game. The goal going to Eric Bikvalvi in the 81st minute. So Romania getting back into that match, of course. Northern Ireland already relegated, which is a real shame for them. Could have had a good chance to maybe get a win tonight before the end of this Nations League group. But ultimately, it looks like that might not happen with a few minutes left to go of the match. But Belgium are coming forward here. Kevin De Bruyne just outside the box goes for a curling effort towards that top right-hand corner. There's a block on the ball from Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, which means we are going to get a corner here. And Lukaku still on for a hat-trick with 6 minutes left. Can the Inter Milan striker get a hat-trick in what has been a fantastic match for him? As I said earlier, he hadn't really done much in that first half, but in the second half, he's been so much better. But the ball is awful from De Bruyne. And, well, Kasper Schmeichel is able to come out of his goal and collect the ball. That's how bad it was of an opportunity. But we're going to go to Rowan because there has been a goal in his game. England, of course, 2-0 up against Iceland right now. Iceland down to 10 men with a red card early on into the second half. The question is, have England tripled their lead or have Iceland got one back?
They've made it 3, and it's the other start midfielder, this time Phil Foden. Sancho to Saka. Saka back to Sancho. Sancho holds it up, runs it into the box, passes it straight to Phil Foden, who's open, puts it straight past the goalkeeper to the bottom right. Is this like? And all midfielders at the start of the game have all scored now, which is nice to see. And I see the Dortmund man get an assist.
Perfect indeed. Thank you very much, Ron, as always. England 3, Iceland 0. Very easy performance for them tonight. I guess Iceland haven't really turned up in this competition, but England have got those 3 goals. Thank you very much as always. England 3-0 to the good. Maybe time for one more goal in that game. We'll have to see as we get towards the final 5 minutes of action in this game between Belgium and Denmark. But a good performance from England tonight. Yes, we talked about it earlier. If this was a competitive game, England fans would be celebrating like mad. But unfortunately, of course, it doesn't really mean anything in the complexion of things, which is a real shame. However, I don't know what's happened here. Have we just got a goal back in this game? Has this game just got interesting with a few minutes left to go? Now, Nasha Chadley has decided to lay a ball to... Oh, my Lord. Oh, he's like... Oh, my God. It's a goalkeeping howler. This is going to stand. Nasha Chadley, currently playing as a right-back right now, simply, lays the ball back to Thibaut Courtois. He tries to take a touch on the ball, completely misses it, and it rolls into the back of his own net. And, well... We said earlier, if the Danes can get a goal back in this game, with a few minutes left of action, who knows? They've got 4 minutes to try and get 2 goals in this game. Nasha Chadley with the own goal, which is Courtois' fault, to be honest. It's just a really awful touch from him. I didn't know if it'd been given at first because the players, looked fairly quiet and nothing was really happening. But Denmark are back in it. Belgium 3, Denmark 2. They've got 4 minutes here to try and score 2 goals. But the Belgians are coming forward. Ball laid off to De Bruyne, and it's a goal. Just like that from kickoff, it's game over. Well, Danes thought they might have had an opportunity to get back into the game, but literally from kickoff, the ball sprayed to the right-hand side of the pitch. It's the substitute, Thomas Fokker, who says, fuck it, I'm going to get an assist in this match. Lays the ball off to De Bruyne. He puts it into the back of the net, kills it into the top right-hand corner. It's 4-2, game, set, and match. And, well, the Danes thought they might have had an opportunity to get back into the game. They've switched off instantly. It's really poor defending, you have to say. I mean, it's a great finish from De Bruyne in the end. Just a lovely curled effort. In fact, it might have had a slight deflection from Simon Kjær's head. But De Bruyne won't care either way. It's in the back of the net. 4-2 to the Belgians. Fantastic performance indeed. And we're now going to go as well to Kieran, because there's been a goal in this game between Poland and Netherlands. Who has scored what's surely the winning goal?
It's the Netherlands. They've turned it around. And finally, Jorginho Wijnaldum has scored. It's straight from the corner. Wijnaldum's flicked it on and it's gone in. Good corner in by Berghuis. Real swerve on it. Jorginho Wijnaldum gets the slightest of touches to redirect the energy of the ball the other way. And bottom corner, 2-1 Netherlands. They have turned it around, even though they probably don't deserve it.
Thank you very much, Kieran. As always, Netherlands looking like they're about to sneak a massive victory, not in terms of the Nations League group, but a big win in terms of their confidence. Of course, they were struggling at the start under De Boer. Now that it looks like they could be getting back onto form here in that game. 2-1 to the Netherlands. Poland will be very disappointed that they haven't got something in this match tonight. Good performance from them, but ultimately looks like they are going to run out of time to get a goal in that game. There's been another change in the game between Hungary and Turkey. Of course, remember, as it currently stands, Turkey will be relegated tonight if they don't get a goal back in this game. Tekdemir has come off the pitch. Ayhan, the centre-back, has come on. So a defensive change there with a few minutes left to go of that match. But we're edging towards the 90th minute now of this game between Belgium and Denmark. And, well, we were talking about a moment ago how there was a mistake at the back with Thibaut Courtois and Nasha Chadley. And we thought, well, maybe, is that going to be a confidence booster to the Danes? It doesn't in the end. And he can, of course, breathe a sigh of relief and maybe laugh about that goal later on. But we are going to go to Rowan now, because there has been a goal in his game between England and Iceland. Is it a 4th goal for England, Rowan?
Yeah, of course it is. It's Phil Foden getting the double. The ball's just not cleared by Iceland. A bit of a fortune for Declan Rice, who it just bounced off his head to the feet of Harry Winks. Harry Winks looks like he's not going to pass it to Foden. Foden gets into a bit of space. Winks passing to Foden just outside the box, swings it to the bottom right, past Hal Dawson. And it's 4-0. And Phil Foden's got a double. Things you like to see. It's goals.
Maybe we could get a hat-trick before the end of the game. A few more minutes left, do you think?
5 more.
5 more? There you go.
The way that Iceland have been playing, the way England have been playing 100%, it's probably another 2 goals even. But yeah, maybe. We'll wait and see.
We'll have to find out indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan, as always. Foden at the double.
And Maitland-Niles has come on for Kieran Trippier.
Thank you very much. Cheeky little substitution there. Thank you. Very greatly appreciated indeed, Rowan. 4-0 to England. As it currently stands, Iceland down to 10 men. Of course, awful performance from the Icelandic national team in this Nations League. They're going to finish with 0 points in the Nations League group. We've got 2 minutes left of additional time in this game between Belgium and Denmark. And I have to say, I am absolutely glad I picked this match tonight. Fantastic match to watch. Really, really enjoyable indeed. And, well, we've had 6 goals in this game. I had 6 goals yesterday. We love goals in the games that I pick. But there has been a goal elsewhere tonight. Wales will be now finishing at the top of their group. It's 3-1 to Wales in that game. Kiefer Moore in the 84th minute scoring a goal that will seal Wales finishing top of the group. Of course, Finland down to 10 men. We thought maybe there was a chance of a comeback, but ultimately Kiefer Moore has killed that potential chance of any comeback happening. We've got 5 minutes of just time the game between Hungary and Turkey. Remember, as it currently stands, Hungary will be going up whether it's a win or a draw. Turkey just need to get a goal in this game with 5 minutes left, and they will survive. If they don't, they will be relegated if it's a loss. So no pressure on them with 5 minutes left. And then we've had a change in this game between Belgium and Denmark. Diedrich Beata has come onto the pitch for Jan Vertonghen. So a late change in that game for the Belgians with about 40 seconds left, which is, of course, not a great deal of game time for Beata, but he won't care because he'll technically be coming out with a clean sheet unless they concede here. I mean, in fact, the Belgians look like they're going to come forward here. It's a ball spread towards De Bruyne. It just doesn't get to them in the end. There was 4 Belgian attackers forward to try and get a goal and make it 5-2, but it doesn't look like it's going to come to anything in the end. What a fantastic match tonight. Really, really enjoyable game. 6 goals, and both teams went for it. And that was the important thing. It was one of those where, you know, at the end of the day, both teams we're going to go for it tonight. You know, the Belgians didn't necessarily have to go out there and go gung-ho. Denmark did. And well, I wouldn't say Denmark went gung-ho. And in the last 15 minutes, they tried their very best to get back into this match and get a goal. And of course, they did get that second goal. But ultimately, in the end, the referee blows his whistle. And that is the Nations League campaign done for Denmark. And that, most importantly, is the Nations League campaign done for the Belgians. And it is going to end with a 4-2 victory for the Belgians. They are through into the Nations League knockout stages. Fantastic performance from them tonight. They will be going through, as I said, to the Nations League knockout stages where they will be facing either Italy, France, or Spain. That is going to be a great set of teams, which, of course, we'll talk about in a little bit once the rest of the games have done, because we've had a red card in one of the other games tonight. Greece down to 10 men in their match against Slovenia late on, and Kosovo have also had a red card in their game against Moldova. They're currently leading 1-0 with a few minutes left of that match, so a lot of pressure on them. There's been another change for Iceland in their game. They're 4-0 down, but Johansson has come on for Bjarsen in that match with a few minutes left of action. But full time in this match between Belgium and Denmark. Belgium sits top of the group. Danes will finish in second place. Great performance from them in the Nations League group, but a fantastic match tonight. It ends Belgium 4, Denmark 2. But we've still got a few more other games going on in the background as we edge towards the few final minutes of action. As it currently stands, England 4-0 up against Iceland. Phil Foden on for a hat-trick. Netherlands look like they're about to sneak a big victory, not in terms of the group, but a big victory for their form, 2-1 against the Netherlands. Israel still 1-0 up against Scotland, which means they will survive in the Nations League group as it currently stands. And Turkey have probably got about 2 minutes left to try and salvage a goal. All they need is 1 point, and they will be staying up in the Nations League. What we will, of course, do is we'll have a look at the groups at the end of the games, and we'll find out who is finishing where. But we're going to go to Rowan, because there has been another chance in his game. Of course, you would assume it's an England chance. Could Phil Foden have had a hat-trick, Rowan?
He couldn't have had a hat-trick, but he nearly got an assist. Plays a lovely ball to it. Open Saka like no one. Abraham and Saka both opening the box, both on the side. But Saka just headed wide. I think what would be his first goal for England. It's a lovely game. I love watching teams actually like go and score a lot of goals and try.
It's been a good game overall. 4 goals in it. I mean, the Iceland, of course, the red card will have helped.
Oh, that's dirty. Sorry, Phil Foden has just controlled it with his back, with the back of his foot, and then got on. That was lovely by Phil Foden.
Very lovely indeed.
That touch was unreal.
Very good. Thank you very much, Rowan, as always. 4-0 to England against Iceland. I'm going to have to jump because there's been another goal elsewhere. Big goal this could be. Kieran saying a goal. Remember, I said all Turkey needed to get was 1 goal in this game, and they will survive in their group. Have Hungary taken the lead again and made it 2-0, or are Turkey back in it?
Hungary have won the group. They break from a corner. There's no one back for Turkey. Varga runs from the middle of his own half. There's no one near him. All the defenders are trying to get back. He hits it across the goalkeeper. It goes through his gloves and into the back of the net. Unfortunately, Turkey will be out. And Serbia will be like Gloria Gaynor. They will survive, Josh.
They will survive indeed. Thank you very much, Kyle. A disappointing performance for Turkey tonight. They were sat third, probably thinking they weren't going to get relegated. But with the way that the complexion of the group has gone tonight, Serbia won 5-0 in their game, which, even Bernal's put Serbia unleashing a slaughter tonight. Wow. And it's obviously helped them tonight. Big win for Serbia. 5-0 win means that Turkey are relegated, which is crazy. And you'd expect them, of course, when they are relegated, to come straight back up. But, of course, we'll have to see. There's 3 minutes of additional time in the game between England and Iceland. 4-0 as it currently stands to England. That game, there's 5 minutes of additional time in the match between Poland and Netherlands. Netherlands leading that game 2-1. And it is now full time in the game between Hungary and Turkey. Turkey are relegated from their Nations League group. They will be going down, which is certainly a big surprise indeed, of course. Turkey are going to have a lot of work to do in their next Nations League campaign. But as I said, with the quality of their squad, you would expect them to do quite well in their Nations League group in a few years' time. In fact, I think it'll be 2 years' time when the next tournament takes place. But 2-0 with Hungary. They top the group. They will be promoted. Fantastic for Hungary tonight. But let's go over to Will, because there is a free kick later on in this game between Israel and Scotland.
Yeah, it's a free kick to Scotland right on the edge of the box. There's 5 additional minutes. We've played 5 minutes and 25 seconds. This is going to be the last kick of the game, and this is in range for this is a very good chance for Scotland to steal a draw here. Lee Griffiths, I think, is going to have Lee Griffiths and McTominay both stood over the ball, and Griffiths. Oh, it was a great strike, but a fantastic save from Marciano in goal. You can stay with me if you want, and we'll see if the referee gives them one more chance.
We'll see. Can they get an equaliser? Time's running out.
They've got everyone forward in the box. They're going to long throw from Kieran to Tierney. Flicked on. Looked like a bit of a foul there. But the foul's given to Israel. In fact, the full-time whistle has gone. It's finished here. 1-0 to Israel, so they survive. They don't go down. Scotland don't win the group, which is a big shame for them. But yeah, a positive result for Israel, a poor one for Scotland.
Thank you very much, Will. As always, Israel will survive indeed. 1-0 win tonight. Scotland will not finish top of their group. They will finish second, and that will be disappointing indeed for the Scots, although they won't really care. They're through to the Euros after their incredible playoff game a few days ago. It's full-time in the game between England and Iceland. Dominant win tonight for England, 4-0 in a game that, yes, doesn't change anything for the group, but a 4-0 win is always good. Iceland finish at bottom of their group with 0 points. Awful performance from them, but it was a very tough group either way. And then there's been a late goal. Unfortunately, that Norwegian side tonight that we thought might have been able to hold on for what would be a great victory have conceded in the 94th minute. Adrian Gerbic with the goal in that match means that ends 1-1. Unfortunately for the Norwegians, they just couldn't hold on to the victory, but they should be proud of themselves tonight to be called up at the very last second, every single player to play in that match. So a really good performance to hold that Austria team to a 1-1 draw. Of course, we've got one game left, Poland and Netherlands. That's the only match going on with a few seconds left. Can we see potentially equaliser in this match, or any more goals, Kieran? I think he's too infatuated in the match. Too exciting right now for him. As it currently stands, Netherlands 2, Poland 1 in that match. He must be loving life. He's there. Is there a chance for another goal, Kieran?
I didn't even realise you'd put me in, but there's literally, we're 11 full-time whistle goes. I was here, Josh, but I wasn't honestly, I was too infatuated in the last 10 seconds of the game because Poland were coming forward.
Dramatic.
Yeah, game over though. It has ended 2-1. I don't really think they deserved it, Netherlands, but yeah, they've won the game.
Somehow they have indeed. Thank you very much, KD. As always, it was a dramatic 10 seconds of action at the end, but no, as you said, very disappointing tonight for the Polish national team. They probably thought they could have gone out there and win it, and won the game, but Netherlands have won it indeed, which therefore means all of the games tonight across the Nations League are now done and dusted, which means your full-time scores across the board tonight. Austria in a 1-1 draw against a Norwegian side that has been completely changed due to COVID-19. Good performance from that Norwegian side tonight. Belgium with a 4-2 win against Denmark. What a game of football this was. Really, really enjoyable, which means the Belgians will finish top of their group. Bosnia 0, Italy 2, Czech Republic 2, Slovakia 0, England 4, Iceland 0, Greece 0, Slovenia 0, Hungary 2, Turkey 0, Israel 1-0 against Scotland, Kosovo with a 1-0 win against Moldova, Northern Ireland in a 1-1 draw against Romania, Poland 1, Netherlands 2, Republic of Ireland in an 0-0 draw against Bulgaria, Serbia hitting Russia for 5. That's the best performance of the night by a country mile. and Wales 3, Finland 1. Finland were down to 10 men, as well as Iceland in their match, which therefore means the Nations League is done and dusted until October 2021. That is it. We are done with international football. No more. We've got to wait now for a few months. No more international football until March time, unless anything changes with COVID, which means we can now have a look at how those groups stand at the end of the Nations League tournament, who goes up and who goes down. So let's very quickly look at these teams. So, of course, Italy have finished top of their group. Netherlands won in the end, but, of course, they just didn't get enough points because Italy had to drop points tonight. And even then, Italy had a better head-to-head record than the Netherlands. So Italy go through to the knockout stages. Netherlands finished second. Polish finished third. Bosnia were relegated a few games ago. In Group 2, Belgium, of course, with a 4-2 victory tonight, means that they are going into that knockout stages next year. Big result for them. Denmark finishing second. England finishing third. And Iceland finishing on 0 points, which is certainly disappointing indeed. Group 3, France finishing in first. Second is Portugal. Croatia only just finishing third. Sweden very nearly produced a comeback yesterday against France, but they are relegated from League One. And in Group 4, it'll be Spain going through to the tournament after their 6-0 demolition of Germany. Switzerland relegated on 3 points, which will certainly be sad scenes for Kieran, who will certainly be crying on his screen right now, although I can't see him on my screen. Let's go to League B and see what's happened there. Austria were promoted in their group, 13 points in there, which is fantastic for them, of course. Picking up a draw tonight against Norway. Northern Ireland relegated as well. God, Kieran has not had it good, has he, in terms of his favourite national teams being relegated. Awful for them. Group 2, however, Rowan will be buzzing because Czech Republic, they've been promoted from their group, 12 points overall. Scotland is second. Will Pete will be happy because Israel have survived on 8 points. Slovakia relegated. In Group 3, Hungary, after winning 2-0 tonight, they get promoted. Russia finishing second, but only just because Serbia had a 5-0 win tonight against Russia. Turkey, who probably thought they weren't going to get relegated tonight, have been relegated. Very unfortunate for them indeed. Very tight group it was until the end. And then in Group 4, Wales were promoted. Finland, of course, didn't get promoted after their red card tonight and their loss against Wales. Republic of Ireland just stay up because Bulgaria had the least points than them, which therefore means that Bulgaria are relegated. The Republic of Ireland stay up by the skin of their teeth after a 0-0 draw against Bulgaria. League C, Montenegro, they win their group on 13 points, dominated that group alongside Luxembourg in second. Cyprus are relegated. Armenia, they finished in first in their group alongside North Macedonia in second. Estonia, unfortunate for Ragnar Klavan because his national team is relegated. Group 3, Slovenia, they got promoted on 14 points, unbeaten in their group. Moldova relegated with 1 point. And then in Group 4, Albania, again promoted in their group on 11 points. Kazakhstan getting relegated on 4 points. And then the final set of teams, Faroe Islands promoted on 12 points. Andorra, of course, they were staying in League D, but only getting 2 points. And then Gibraltar, they'll be getting promoted. San Marino on 2 points. They won't care because they've picked up as many points as Andorra did, which therefore means San Marino is a much better nation than Andorra will ever be. So there's all of the Nations League groups and how they stand, which means our tournament in October 2021 will be Italy, Belgium, France, and Spain, who are all facing off against each other in their matches. That is going to be an absolutely incredible tournament indeed, as Bernaldo puts up the Malta. So let's very quickly go through the games. Of course, Belgium 4 to Denmark. Let's quickly talk to Rowan after England's 4-0 win against Iceland. Professional performance tonight, Rowan.
Yeah, it's what they need to do to bounce back. Youngsters scoring, playing well. Maybe they found a way that works, but it's Iceland. It wasn't even a strong Iceland side, really. Obviously missing that game in your boy, Big Gilfie. But yeah, you think, like you said, it doesn't mean anything, but they scored goals, and we love some goals.
We love goals, and Iceland as well, finishing on 0 points. It's a real shame for them, but the group was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they had many high expectations. Maybe you only thought maybe they'll get points against Denmark, but they didn't expect it. They'll go back down. The problem might come back up, next year.
That's the thing. They've got a very good sign on paper, but maybe not too good enough to play some of the big teams. But thank you very much, Rowan, as always. England 4, Iceland 0. Iceland did go down to 10 men. Let's quickly talk to Kieran D. Netherlands tonight, 2-1 win against Poland. We said throughout the night that Poland had a fair share of chances. But ultimately, Netherlands come out with a scrappy 2-1 win.
Yeah, to be fair, second half of that game, Poland played like they did against Italy. There were no real determination or anything, and the Netherlands played like that for 90 minutes, to be honest. They were very lucky to come out with the 3 points in this game, of course. But fair play to them. They won ugly, and yeah, that's what good teams do.
They certainly do indeed, and maybe De Boer's job is just saved for a little longer. But Netherlands there with a 2-1 win tonight. Fantastic performance. Thank you very much, Katie. Bring you back in a moment because we're going to go over to Israel. Will, you must be buzzing. Israel have survived. Scotland don't go up.
Yeah, it was a very, very tight game. Like I said, with these two teams, they always just seem to cancel each other out. They've played each other that many times. I think they've just kind of sussed each other out how each other play. But yeah, Israel took the chances. That was the difference, really. The chances were few and far between, but Israel took their chance. Manon Solomon with a fantastically taken goal just on the stroke of half time. And the second half, there weren't really many chances. Scotland obviously had them final few chances at the end, but they weren't able to convert. And yeah, big result for Israel. They survive. Slovakia go down, but big shame for Scotland that they don't go into League A.
Very frustrating for them indeed. Czech Republic going up, but Israel surviving. Thank you very much, Will. As always, Israel with a 1-0 win against Scotland tonight. And then, of course, Hungary 2-0 win tonight against Turkey. Kieren, they'll be absolutely buzzing tonight. Big win, and they get promoted.
Yeah, they did exactly what they needed to do. It was an industrial performance. I don't think anyone really stole the show. It was a nice game, but few chances, just played at a really good tempo. But for Turkey, what a difference this night makes from thinking you were on the brink of possibly fighting to win the league at half-time to being bottom by the time you finished. A really disappointing night for them.
Very, very disappointing night indeed. And of course, as well, your two favourite nations going down, Switzerland and Northern Ireland. You must be devastated.
I know. There's a reason I avoided them two games, Josh. I didn't want to cry on stream. So I'm going to do that after this stream's over when I see Josh McGuinness in a different league. But it means he can put in better performances next time and win his team promotion.
Certainly does indeed. Thank you very much, Kieran L, as always. So, as I said, that is it for the Nations League. It is all done and dusted. Of course, we've looked at how the groups stand and how things are looking. But there is also a few more games going on in the background as well, because, as I said, Italy, Spain, Belgium and France are all through to the next round. However, we are going to see as well relegation playoff fixtures between some of those smaller teams. So what happens is in 2022, Moldova, Kazakhstan will face off against each other in a relegation playoff, and Estonia face off against Cyprus in a relegation playoff as well. So that'll be interesting in 2022 if you're a fan of either of those four nations. And as we said before, of course, those four teams come up against each other: Italy, Belgium, France and Spain in a knockout tournament. There'll be a third place playoff and a final for those games. So we'll bring the boys in a second. We'll ask them about who they think could win those playoff games, not the play-out ones. Bloody hell, they're not bloody nightmare to predict. But there's more stuff to come on the channel as always. As you can see, of course, we're now done with Nations League actions. So there's no more to come in terms of that content until next year. But we are back on Friday, 20th of November at 7:45 as AS Monaco take on PSG in our first League game of the season. Should be a good one. Saturday, still to be confirmed with a few games, but 5:15 sees Tottenham Hotspur face Manchester City. And then straight after that, Atletico Madrid face off against Barcelona. We're live from 7:50 for that game kickoff at 8 o'clock. And then we're back with the goal show once again for the Champions League this time of the 24th of November. You can see Dortmund, PSG, Man U and Barca all facing sides from 8 o'clock. We're live at 7:45. And then the day afterwards, on Wednesday, the 25th of November, you can see the likes of Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Liverpool and Atalanta facing off in the Champions League, not against each other, but against other sides in groups A to D. So plenty of action to come across the board in those streams. But I'll put in, cheers lads, come on you Spurs, and welcome to the stream, Ravens. So there we go, boys. The Nations League is done and dusted now. The real question is, of course, we've got more content to come next year. Who's going to win it? Italy, Belgium, France or Spain, if you're taking it at this current point now?
Spain.
It's hard to look past France.
Yeah, France. I think France as well.
France.
Interesting indeed. I mean, Rowan, of course, taking the punt there on Spain after their big 6-0 win. And, of course, all you guys going for the likes of France, one of the strongest sides. But, as I said before, these games will be played after we've seen the competition going on in the Euros, of course. These are played on the 6th and the 7th of October with the final on the 10th. And then, of course, there's the play-out fixtures. Moldova or Kazakhstan?
Oh, Kazakhstan.
Or Moldova.
Moldova going to be Kazakhstan, hasn't it? And then, of course, Estonia or Cyprus.
Estonia.
Cyprus. And that'll do news.
Oh, wow. I thought Will was going to go for his Estonian side there with Ragnar Klavan, but he hasn't in the end. He's gone for Cyprus. Interesting. But that is it, boys. We're done for international football this year. There's no more games going on now until March time, which means we're back to club football all the way. But, of course, the Nations League will be back next year and probably will be back the next time with international football, probably for the Euros, which is, of course, quite a while away. But as for now, thank you very much as always. Thank you, Kieran L, Will, KD, and Rowan for joining for the Gold Show. Thank you very much. We hope you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. But as for now, thank you very much for joining us. We hope to see you again soon. Good night.